Welcome to the first official episode of our Dungeons & Dragons podcast, What Lurks Below. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us on our adventure, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we do. I just want to get some housekeeping things out of the way before I let you run free. First thing is a general disclaimer about the entirety of the podcast. This is a recording of our D&D sessions, and we are all above the age of 25, so adult themes will be present. Use of swear words, descriptions of violence and minor injuries, possibly blood. There might be sexual innuendos or jokes. Kind of your basic not recommended for children disclaimer. When we do come across heavier topics or descriptions that could possibly be a trigger, we will put a trigger warning in our description for the episode, so be sure to check that out before listening. As of now, I don't have timestamps, but in the future I might try and add them so you know when to jump to. Which leads into the next topic, skipping episodes. After the next episode, I personally do the introduction summaries for every episode, and I try to do it in a way where you can easily skip an episode and jump back in with knowledge of what you've missed. So if you need to skip an episode because of a trigger, no worries. I will try my hardest to keep you caught up with the introductions to each episode. This goes hand in hand with the next topic I want to address quickly, which is audio quality. When we started recording our D&D sessions, we all have very different qualities of microphones. I edit our audio and I've tried to make it as smooth as possible for the listener, but the first few episodes are pretty rough sometimes. The reason this episode will be the way it is actually due to the fact the audio quality I was working with was terrible, and I had to cut out some sections of the episode. Which, great news, we all have better microphones now. It's just a matter of getting to those episodes. So again, I do try to make the audio as good as possible, but if it's too painful for you to listen to, you can always skip into the episode or even just skip an entire episode, and I will always have those summaries that will catch you right back up. I believe that's all I have right now for some quick housekeeping. Again, I do just want to thank you for taking time to listen to us and our adventure. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, basically any social media site at CoreDND. That's COHRDND, no spaces. Hang out with us, see art, give feedback, get teaser clips, all that good stuff. So, without further ado, our adventure begins! Our story begins not in a tavern as one might expect, but much later. Instead, on a small fishing boat returning to port at a pirate city called Bargetide in the middle of the islands known as the Salted Archipelago. The main characters of this story are Fearne, a changeling posing as an elf, Rowan, a half-elf raised in Bargetide, and Marie, a halfling cursed to be a cat. The three had met on the island of the Whispering Cove, where a tale had been spun of diamonds being found as large as a man's head. Fearne and Rowan had been traveling together for a few weeks, and Marie entered the party by unfortunately attempting to steal from the other two. The three had decided, if not begrudgingly, to work together so they could all maybe walk away with diamonds. Searching for the diamonds ended up being the least of their worries, as they found the island was infested with vampires using the diamonds as a ruse to lure unsuspecting victims. The three had met Rayla, a strange woman shut in a tower with a dragon-scaled arm, and Benji, a charismatic half-orc mercenary who seemed to want to do the right thing. With their help, the party of three took on the vampire threat and almost lost their lives for it. After almost dying, the three were gifted extremely powerful items by a mysterious benefactor they only know as Felinor Greywind, a high elf who always seems to have his nose in their business, but gives no answers to who he actually is. Benji and Rayla ended up joining the small party for one reason or another, and the group set off to get back to Bargetide. They wouldn't make it, however, as Fearne had thought she had seen a changeling, just like her, on one of the passing islands. Marie, Fearne, and Rowan left by themselves to investigate, planning on being gone no longer than a few hours. Those hours turned into days, after they found the island, called Akmar by its residents, was under the spell of a powerful creature known as an aboleth that called itself the Eldest. The three found unlikely allies in an orc woman named Tashara, whose curse was broken by Marie, and a mind flayer named Rusk, who claimed to not feed on human brains like the rest of his kind. With the help of Rusk's knowledge and Tashara's brawn, the three managed to defeat the Eldest and free the island of its curse. The ship they had arrived on, unfortunately, had sailed away and left them for dead. However, Rayla, Bert, a small kobold they had been traveling with, and Zal, a cat-like woman who Fearne and Rowan had found on their first outing, came at the perfect time with Rowan's father Eamon and his captain Shamar with his fishing boat in tow. And that's where we begin our story, on a small fishing boat finally making port in Bargetide after quite the ordeal for our three adventurers. After docking, Rowan reached out to his father to answer some questions that their travels on Akmar had unearthed.
Rowan, I'm talking to your dad. He's here. He's like on the boat, really. He kind of like glances to you as you kind of approach and just sort of smile.
Hi. Well, I guess first off, thank you for coming to find us. Didn't expect the ship and crew to just kind of leave us there.
Well, wasn't gonna even leave my son.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
But also, I do have a quick question, and I know it's probably not the most comfortable conversation. There were some weird things on that island, and some things were said, and I need to I'm trying to figure out kind of a timeline. Did you know, was our mother into some weird shit? Like dark things?
Rub the back of his head, just his hand, and sort of like look off. It's a bit of a strange topic, really. She was. We didn't talk a ton, and you know, we didn't really see her a lot when she was pregnant with you all, and when you were born. I wasn't there. I think I might have told you that before, but I mean, she lived a very different life than me, so weird to me is a bit, you know.
Like she didn't mention worshiping anything with like from like something called the Far Realms or anything that had tentacles, monster vibes.
Like starts looking confused and a little horrified. I don't think so. It didn't strike me as the type that. I don't believe so. If she did, she hit it pretty well from me, which, to be honest, wouldn't have been hard.
Okay, alright.
I mean, no, I'm not that I know of. I don't think in these instances, you know, she really would have sent this area as like a sort of god that they more essentially believe in.
Alright, well that's, I mean, I guess a relief a little bit.
Why? What? You still haven't told me everything about the island. I've been wanting to know just what happened.
A lot. I guess.
Do you want to grab a kind of like look around? Do you want to like go grab lunch for it?
You know, actually, that wouldn't be bad. I suppose we could go grab Fearne and whoever else would want to come with us. We can just, because if we're just going to talk about the islands, they may know other things that I'm forgetting.
I wasn't really mean. Just talk about just the island, really.
Okay, yeah, lunch
grab
sounds
lunch.
fine. Yeah, let's
we don't need to do it right now if you have to do things.
He's gonna poof in Lear.
Yeah, take a step back and kind of look at
Oh, I forgot.
Why? That's interesting.
Wizard things.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm right. It's just I get out of piecing it together. I just
Yeah, sorry.
It was sudden. It just frightened me a little bit.
Oh my god. Wizard things, they're fucking weird.
Kind of like leans down a little bit to look at Lear and just sort of. Is he? My hand won't go through him or anything.
No, he's physical. You can pet him.
Touches Lear and kind of pets him. Lear just kind of like leans his head up a little bit. Oh, he's warm. I'm assuming. Probably some of the magic, or it's up in there. It's... Oh.
Yeah, he's a little warm. Sometimes, got some fire, but not you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
So Rowan is gonna pull out one of his sheets of paper and he's gonna write a note going to lunch with Eamon. If you want to come, just tell Lear and he'll bring you to me. Tie it around his neck.
And just kind of trotting off. Oh, right, that's... Yeah, by the way. Yeah, begins walking with you and begins kind of asking you like questions about things that, what you did, both sort of on that island and more details about the previous island.
Eamon took Rowan to lunch at a place they were both very familiar with.
Rowan, you had been talking with your dad for a while now, sort of just sharing stories. He's sharing some stories of his, if constantly kind of very little self-conscious of like, I'm not sure if this is what he likes to hear, so I don't like, but telling stories of his things with with him and Shamar sailing and whatnot, and like what they've been doing and that sort of stuff. But very, again, like I said, self-conscious of like, I'm not sure if this is really what he, the kind of stories he likes to hear. So he's always kind of pausing and double checking to see if you're like interested in listening still, and if not, switching topics to something else. But listening to you and your story, and eventually you guys kind of sort of sitting at the table. Dad went up and ordered, and eventually kind of coming out to the table, you see half orc man, Gino. You see Finn coming out and sort of setting out plates in front of both of you guys. And your dad just nodding in front of you and just sort of kind of like a half smile towards you. I've been well. Kind of looks around at the building. We're doing well. Staying in the business. It's good to see you both. And kind of like looks at your dad and just sort of nods. Don't know if. I mean, it's glad to see that you both are, I guess, getting along a little bit. And he might just kind of like looks to him and then glances to Rowan and kind of like glances down his plate. Dad comes in here fairly frequently.
So I'm assuming you guys keep caught up.
Yeah, no, we stay fairly caught up. I mean, I'd be interested to hear how you're doing and what you've been up to. And so you kind of like, you might kind of like look up to Rowan and look to Finn. Well, he's a wizard now and knows some of that sort of stuff. You see Finn kind of glance to you and like eyes wide, like, really?
Yeah, doing that magic thing now.
Oh shit. I mean, I knew you were smart. I just didn't think, He kind of like glances around. See, it's not fairly full right now, and kind of like, so we gotta move a little closer to the table. Can I see a little bit?
What?
I mean, you don't need to. I'm just, it's just cool.
Okay, maybe not a good idea. Okay, Rowan is gonna cast minor illusion of Finn. He's gonna make him 5 feet tall and stand him right next to Finn.
Okay, Finn's gonna like back up and look to it.
Also, he's much lankier.
Moves his hand to kind of like swat through it. Huh. I think got a couple details wrong, but he seems to smile.
I think they're just right.
I like see him look towards you and kind of like raise a brow, and smile, and kind of like have this half offended, half joking sort of like look. I could still kick your ass, even with all the wizardy stuff.
I don't think so actually anymore.
No. I guess we're gonna have to test that.
Absolutely not. Listen, you've dragged my face in the mud too many times. Don't tempt me.
Still could do it. See, like, Iman just kind of like glancing back and forth, and just a smile across his face as he kind of just like folds his arms. Finn's still kind of looking at you.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe later. Okay.
Yeah. I have to work. I have to work anyways. You're lucky.
Harm your poor fragile ego.
Oh yeah. My fragile ego. Sure. We have to work anyways. But how about after?
He shoots a glare, but he is smiling a little bit. Like
you see sort of like very much like the same thing. Like he's still smiling. Like he's kind of like giving this joking insult and sort of like this mock sort of offended kind of thing, but smiling as well at you.
Speaking of, have you done anything like, using your strength and all, or have you just been in your shop?
I mean, it uses quite a bit. You know, we don't just go out and buy cut meats.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Any traveling at all?
I did a little bit. Traveled over to Tal'Darai, and me and my dad both had some money saved up.
I mean, I'm glad that you're traveling. I mean, a little bit,
Yeah.
you know.
What about you? You've been, I mean, I obviously don't see you very much, so I don't know if you've been traveling. Your dad didn't really say anything, but
Just recently, I've been traveling quite a bit.
oh yeah,
Yeah, quite a bit. Ran into some weird people. They've kind of been dragging me places.
might be good for you. Might be bad for you too. Like weird how?
One's a shifter, the other's an elf from Adela. Now I know a talking cat.
Talking
Little
cat.
weird. Talking cat.
Huh.
Yeah, you know, like I'm saying, strange people.
I'm assuming you're not talking about like a tabaxi.
No, I mean like a cat. That
Yeah,
talks.
yeah, I kind of figured. I mean, alright. I mean, yeah, I met strange people over in Tal'Darai, but I didn't think, you know, I thought you were saying strangers and just sort of the behaviors. I didn't realize that the actual talking cat. Very, yeah, I don't
Yeah, a little weird.
quite know what to say about that.
But yeah, I've been doing traveling. Went over to like the Whispering Cove and
Yeah,
some
would-
other God's Forsaken Island. I don't actually know what it's called, but you know.
doing anything interesting there, or are you chasing the diamonds like everybody else was?
Rowan, it kind of gets a little more awkward, kind of unknowing like what to say. His eyes a little bit more somber. You know, doing some kind of reminds me a lot of what Bria was doing. Fighting
Yeah.
vampires. What else? Kinda.
Vampires.
One of them.
Oh, you see him kind of get a little bit, kind of smile, kind of drop a little bit, and you kind of bring up like the other details, and you say, "Oh, vampires. So, did like actual vampires? You know, like the ones
Yeah.
you read tales about?
Yeah, same ones.
Where Brio was actually had a joke about wanting to kill one. I guess unknowingly you kind of did that for her, right?
I suppose, yeah.
See, like a little bit slight smile, but a little bit more somber face. But Iman is just kind of like looking between you two, and just sort of a bit more somber too, and nods.
Rowan's going to kind of glance at him. Is he wearing the normal necklace that he did?
Yeah, you
That he
kind of
was
glance,
wearing.
you see like the sort of chain necklace kind of hanging from his neck, and the end of it, the ring. Look, kind of looking down, and kind of look back up, and their plates into both of you, and tap the table. Right, well, you should eat those before they get cold. They're not good anymore, and I'll take you up on that offer, Rowan. See if you actually are stronger at some point
Yeah,
when I'm not
okay.
working.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
I don't want to fucking, you know, ruin your work clothes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be known as the business that runs their customers' face through the mud. So
Uh-huh,
kinda
you
like
keep telling yourself that.
smiles and kind of walks off. And kind of glances at him, kind of slight smile back to his face, glances back to you, and well, glad you'll get along better than you used to. Seems, at least.
I mean, whenever Bria started dating the fucker, I kind of didn't have a choice, did I?
No, I mean you did. You could have been a cunt about it, but you weren't.
But no, I mean, I guess he grows on you. Kind of like a fungus, but you know.
Got like a fungus, sure, yeah.
I guess he's not too bad.
No.
He will start eating.
Kind of delves into his meal again. Goes back to sharing some stories and talking, and as well. And it's a good meal. It's actually it's a little bit strange for Bargetide to have sort of like a more of a nice meal like this here. You guys eventually kind of finish up. You want to pay, sort of leave some gold on the table. Kind of get outside and kind of looks to you. I probably should go help Shimura get everything else unpacked. We're going to be back in port for a very long time before your friends came and got us. We should do this again.
Yeah,
I got
that'd be fine.
we got one more trip for the season. And then I'm gonna retire, and your friends, big lizard friends, are gonna take over for me, and Shimara's gonna find somebody else. Then I'll have more free time to do so.
Yeah.
We can we can celebrate. Make a night of it, and celebrate my retirement, I suppose.
Are
Finally.
you still? Aren't you too old for that? A little bit. He's got a smile on his face.
For what?
What? What? Having a night out? Don't want to break your back.
I'm still going and catching giant fish on a monthly basis, at the least. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm worried about you. Kind of pokes you and kind of like pokes your arms. So your arms like, despite your the belt, your arms are still like it doesn't actually add mass. Like,
Yeah.
Worried about you. I don't want you to break your back fighting Finn. Little scrawny. He's big.
Low blow.
Yeah,
Low blow.
I mean, to be fair, he's big and that way, and kind of pats his stomach. He's definitely put on a couple pounds there as well.
That's just another low blow for you.
Well, I think doesn't know. That's not gonna hurt him. He needs a
Well-
low blow to mock me about my back.
I guess that's true. I only learned from you clearly.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah, let's get back to the ship. I probably should thank Shamar for, coming to pick up our asses
You
as
should
well.
really thank your friends for coming so quickly to us there. I mean, Kobold was very insistent about helping you all.
Sure.
Get back to the smart ship, and as you kind of get there, because you weren't as far as everybody else, you get there, you
Yeah.
kind of like looks at the ship, and after you kind of thank Shamar, who just basically plays it off, it's like it would like no big deal, and kind of just looks at you and just sort of places a hand on your shoulders. So we'll be heading out in about a week or so, and well, I mean, if you're going to be in town, I obviously want to see you a bit more before I head out, but then afterwards we'll plan for when I get back, make a night of it, everything, invite some people.
Yeah, of course.
Bring whatever friends you want to. I don't see friends of yours, friends of mine, or I'll try to get along with them as well as I can.
I'm still figuring out exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if anything changes.
Yeah, no, please, and if nothing else, we'll wait till you get back and have Finn drag your face to the mud then, and I'll break my back. Yes, might seem to smile at you and kind of give you squeeze your shoulder a little bit and kind of pull you in for a hug.
He will slightly less awkwardly than normal, but still awkward, will return it.
He's gonna try to tight hug and pat your back for breaking in. Right, I gotta help you more before I lag anymore, and he yells at me. And goes onto the boat and begins to help unload things.
Fearne said farewell to our orc companion Tashara as she was free to finally travel home, and then showed our little party of Burp, Rayla, and Zal to Rowan's clinic.
Fearne, you gather everybody easily enough, and they kind of begin walking towards the clinic. Tashara, a little bit closer to the front, walking next to you. I don't think I'm going to be staying very long, if at all. Where's the docks at?
She's gonna look around a little bit.
For passenger ships.
I don't really know Bargetide super well. I know where the docks are, but
You point me in that direction, I can go find them. You just
they
kinda,
are that way.
So. Right, and you all will be at the clinic.
Hopefully.
If I find something, if I can, I'll come back and say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
Gives everybody kind of a nod and just begins walking off towards the docks.
She'll just watch her for a little bit, then turn around to the others.
And Burp's just kind of standing next to the door and kind of watching you, and then looking at the door, and looking at you, and then as you open the door, kind of waddles inside basically. Yeah, and goes inside. So kind of follows quickly after, almost kind of rushing in front of you, past you, and kind of going past through the clinic, kind of upstairs towards where the well, where you saw her last time, over in the sort of the waiting, not the waiting room, the resting area with all the beds that she was there at. Rayla kind of just waiting for you to enter and before kind of walking in as well afterwards and just looking around as she does. Burp is already kind of a little bit like near the fireplace, kind of unpacking stuff, and by unpacking he's basically just kind of turning things, his bags inside out and just sort of kind of creating his little like nest like he does.
Yeah, Fearne's just watching that and then looking at Rayla, be like, well, there's chairs over here. He has some books. I don't know if you'd like them or not. There's like medical books and stuff. You wanted to read while we wait?
She kind of like goes over to one of the bookshelves that's nearby and grabs like 2 of them off and kind of holds them and just kind of looks at the rest, begins looking through the rest of them.
Fearne's definitely going to the kitchen to check out that food situation.
After everyone had settled and got comfortable, Rayla and Fearne ended up getting locked in a tense conversation over the dealings of the Whispering Cove.
Still looking at her book, she just, as you tend to do.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, he just glances up. Means exactly what I said.
She's just gonna like lift a brow a little bit.
You all constantly comment on things he does, and him, and mock him, or make fun of him when he is obviously in distress of a nature.
But playful teasing is?
He doesn't seem very playful when he doesn't enjoy it that much, and he's the only one being picked on.
I guess you don't see when Rowan has a sassy attitude, but
I think it's just his tone.
I don't see how much taunting we did. I point out his alcohol.
You joked with him, but you think it was joking, and it wasn't. He was, I'm pretty
His
sure,
alcohol
visibly distressed.
is a problem.
But you don't mock him for it. You don't fix it that way. You didn't show concern about it, you joked about it.
Been around Rowan as long as I have. You show concern for him and he just doesn't like it and he shuts you off.
The only person, from what I've seen and what I've learned, that ever showed concern for him was his sister. And she died.
Then why am I still here helping him if I'm not so concerned about it, Rayla?
She sort of shrugs. I don't know.
There have been plenty of times
If you've been around
that
him long,
Rowans have said things and I could have walked away. But I do care about Rowan, and you've not been around him as long as I have. And I'm supposed to read somebody's feelings that never wants to share his feelings?
if he doesn't want to share, then you have to if you want to help him.
I can't make somebody share their feelings. I share mine, but I can't make somebody share their feelings. I've asked Rowan things, and I don't get the answer, so I quit trying and asking.
I've dealt with somebody that has mocked me, and she kind of like puts up like her hands and sort of does like quotations, joked with me and teased me my entire life. It's infuriating, it's aggravating, it is
Rowan does things that
disheartening.
infuriate me too, but
But he's not doing them all
you
the
weren't
time.
you were
Every
in the
bit
tower.
of that trip, you all were talking about him and mocking him. Any conversation towards him, you had some remark to say about him. Both of you. She looks back down at the book. You've yelled at him before when he was trying to be nice to you. Burp is kind of like still, every now and again, like little jingling noise coming from where he is with his. He hasn't like emptied all of the coins out, but like, kind of looking at the ring and then kind of looking up at you, at both Fearne and Rayla, every now and again, but then kind of going back and looking down at the ring.
Which times, Rayla?
And he like glances up and when you were mad or whatever and twitching, and he helped and cured that for you. He's not at best with his tone, but he was trying to be nice and you lashed out at him, retaliated.
Gonna stand there for a second and be like, I got mad at him because I thanked him and he didn't seem like he cared.
Because he doesn't seem to know how to take thanks.
And that's my issue.
If he cared, he wouldn't have done it.
Well, when he walked over there, he seemed like he didn't even want to help.
He doesn't know how to.
So I'm not allowed to be upset?
You can be upset, but he helped you.
And I told you at the tower that I would work on that, but you know people don't fix themselves overnight, and I haven't been making fun of Rowan.
Sort of like glances at you, like kind of very obviously like something like it has like something more she wants to say, but like is sort of trying to formulate words in her head of like how to say it. It's okay to say that you're wrong, you know. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I know I have flaws. I've tried to apologize for some of them. She like kind of looks to the door. Marie once specifically. She blew me off, but I still tried.
Sure, we all need to work on communication.
That's still pivoting the blame.
I know I've teased Rowan, but some of that he brings upon himself whenever he does something or says something. But not all of it. But I don't feel like you've ever had siblings.
I've been in a tower my whole life. I had 2 others that I could consider friends or siblings, maybe. So no, I haven't. But I have had somebody that's lived with me my entire life and has joked and teased me and taunted me and tormented me and yelled at me my entire life. And I hate that person.
Like, you're just seeing the one side of it though, Rayla.
I traveled with you all for more than a week. And if that's the only side I saw in more than a week, I think that side is too prevalent. I'm not saying that you don't have points that are accurate, but I am saying that you are still trying to pivot the blame so that you seem faultless. You can be at fault and still be a good person. You can make mistakes and still be a good person. I'm only saying this because it seems like you're going to stay around for a while longer, and I apparently am going to... I owe Rowan a bit. I'm going to be around a bit more, and I don't want to be around another person like what's in my head. And that's what I was seeing. That's all that I was seeing with you and Marie. And it took everything I had to not lose it. I'm already fighting that fight in my head. I don't need to fight it outside too.
People are very new to me as well. I kind of know how you feel about being trapped in the tower.
Yeah, you see her like her glance immediately go up towards you. I'm going to say just be careful what you say next.
I didn't really get to leave. I mean, I got more freedom, but I didn't really get... I
No.
didn't get to have friends as a kid.
I didn't get to have family. Except for the one that has called themselves my father.
Well, I
You
can't
don't
do
know
anything about
what it was
that,
like in that
Layla.
tower. Do not try to sympathize with me on that.
I guess you'd get upset when I'm trying to explain something to you, Rayla, because I'm trying to tell you that I didn't get to interact with very many people either.
So you're kind of like her jaw sort of like tightened at this point, just like staring at you.
So if you don't want to understand that either, I'm trying to tell you that I didn't get to communicate with people. So people are new. It's not the same, but I know a little bit of what it feels like to not have anybody. I had my sisters, but I didn't get to do the things that they got to do.
You're still just kind of staring at you and sort of like clench her eyes suddenly and then like tilt her head like almost like wincing in pain. He closes the book and sets it to the side and stands up and walks out the door. Burp kind of like watches back and forth, like watches her and then kind of looks back to you and just I had a lot of brothers and sisters.
She's just gonna glance at Burp. You have siblings?
Yeah, I like kobolds and like Burp, but Burp is okay. Burp left, found others. Yeah, they're nicer. Not like my family. They're like Burp.
Sometimes your born family isn't your family.
Yeah, like gives you like this sort of like blank stare for a bit, like not seeming to like fully comprehend what you said. And it's just like, yeah. You hear another like loud bang from upstairs, and Zal is probably doing something. Lear is kind of at this point have made his way into the fireplace and is just sort of resting in there.
Marie had other business to attend to at a shoddy little tavern where she met the man she currently was working for, known only as the Spire. The same man who had sent her to the Whispering Cove to look into rumors of large diamonds.
The tavern just kind of looks at you. Right. Gestures to the door behind him. You know where you're going.
Yeah. She's gonna scurry past him.
Scurry past him, past the into the kind of back room, little kitchen, and kind of go to the smaller other door. Again, kind of leading down past the underneath sort of the docks, past kind of knock at the other door where a small slit kind of opens up. Glances around and kind of glances down. Ah, you. Slit closed, door open. Opens up to like a smaller sort of another tavern underneath with like large sort of stone area, but then the kind of the far right half is either kind of being expanded upon along with sort of like a sort of kind of grotto like area. Right, boss is to the door waiting for you.
I figured. Right. She's gonna look reluctantly off towards like the bar and stuff, and then she's gonna like go to the boss man instead.
Yeah. So you go there, you go to the other door, and two kind of people standing just right outside, almost kind of standing guard. One kind of leans over and opens the door and opens it for you as you kind of walk into a more dimly lit room, very kind of dim but warmly lit room. You go in the far right corner from where you are, large table, and sort of the booth kind of on the other side of it. Chairs, 3 chairs kind of along your side, and then kind of sitting across in the booth. Reclined back, the arms spread out. He's a very large, looks it on man that you know as the Spire. As you kind of enter in, you just see a nod towards you and gestures to one of the chairs.
She's gonna go and hop up into one of the chairs.
You want to hop up?
Just immediately gonna be fiddling in her bag for the diamonds.
He just kind of like looks over and reaches his hand over to grab one of the larger chunks and kind of looks at it. So I take it the rumors were true, then?
No, absolutely not. I'm not sure these are real diamonds.
His other hand just knocks on sort of a wooden part of the booth, kind of to his left, and an elven man, very well dressed, kind of walk in, wearing a monocle and everything, and a hair cut a little bit shorter, but kind of pulled back, slicked back. And walk in, and you see the Spire hand him the diamond. He kind of looks at it and begins turning it over.
I mean, I can't be for sure. I traveled with the group there, and we found caves that were guarded, and we found our way in, and there was strange plants they were growing that, like, ate people, and that they had people in, like, a caged-off area that they like, exploded and became like plant zombies. I don't know how to explain it, I'm sorry. But we found these diamonds in a bag in a desk in that cave. It seemed to be a whole operation run by a vampire.
Run by a vampire?
Hmm.
Interesting. Any more details other than that?
I will say that vampire's very dead now. I
You
don't
killed him.
think... Not me specifically.
Somebody killed him. I'm assuming allied with you.
He was an elf-like man, long black hair. I don't know
He
who he was.
kind of puts his hand up. The vampire's dead. People that were
Yes,
running this
but
operation are dead.
I don't know the operation's fully dead because I think there's another one that wasn't there.
I see.
I-
And like looks back to the elf and who just kind of glances him. It does seem to be a real diamond. Right. Well, it seems nevertheless there were still diamonds there. So where were these diamonds located? Where could we go find where we could mine them?
I didn't find anything about a place to mine them from. I honestly, after all the zombies and plants and stuff, I didn't think that there really was like a specific area to mine from. I think that there were diamonds made or brought in to lure people in for more plant fodder.
Smart idea, I suppose.
If you do send anyone at all over there, I'd have them watch the backs. I'm not sure it's worth the risk.
You said you killed one of the vampires, but didn't solve the issue on the island?
I believe a cleanup crew was sent, but I don't know if the other vampire, if they ever found out about what happened, if they would come back and reinstate the business that they had going.
Give me a rundown of the whole thing, of everything you know about the situation.
Like, are you wanting to know specifically about the whole vampire situation?
The vampires, the diamonds, everything.
Okay, well...
Is it worth me sending people out there? Do I need to worry about
not.
there being vampires there still?
Well...
She relayed the information that the Vosmus family were the vampires.
Yes.
The Vosmus family was in charge of the operation, and that you, along with a fair amount of people from the town there, went and basically raided and burned their house. Not burned, but like raided their house and killed a good majority of the people all working for the Vosmus family, to the point where the Vosmus family does not have a house there anymore. Yeah, as you finish explaining that.
Well, doesn't seem like there's anything there for us, other than maybe a small power vacuum that we could instate ourselves in.
Think that'd be valuable enough.
It would be. At least it's good to know that I wouldn't be setting up any operations there for something that didn't exist.
Yeah. She's gonna be like playing with the edge of her like cape nervously.
He kind of looks around, kind of towards the door.
The others that you had help you, where they at?
Oh, she's gonna like look back towards the door like she's thinking. We got off the ship together. I think one of them's a doctor. I think the girl's probably with him too. I think a lot of people are ship workers, so I don't know specifically what they're up about.
So one of them was a doctor. What was his name?
Rowan O'Flynn.
Right. I'll have somebody find his medical officer or whatever he uses, and we'll send thanks his way.
I mean, Miss Fearne, you could probably send the thanks that way too. I think she's living with him, or she's living in a tavern somewhere, but she works with him.
Right, then we'll have thanks sent that way as well.
And looks at the diamond again and kind of picks it up and looks at it.
Right.
Kind of glances back towards you, away from the diamond.
I'm assuming you're curious about your cousin.
Yeah, she doing well.
More or less.
He gestures to the door to his left and just...
You go down. This is the third door on the right.
Thank you. But she's gonna look at him like for like a second nervously, like she thinks that she's not supposed to like go quite yet, and then she's gonna like hop off the chair. And, like,
He doesn't stop you at all. He's just kind of examining the diamond, turning around and looking at it, or kind of leaning over as you hop off to go grab the other one and looking at it too. Go down the hallway, third door on the right, open it up in a small little room. It's like kind of like a tavern room, well furnished and nice. You see kind of just sitting on the bed. You see Black Tabby Cat.
Melanie?
Kind of glances over at you and raises her brow, sits up a little bit straighter.
Oh my god, it's been so long. She's gonna hurry over to Melanie and hug her.
Yeah, hugs you back.
Oh my god, how have you been?
Kind of like looks at you with a very like a just sort of flat expression, just like really.
She looks like she's clearly been anxious about this.
You're also remembering that she does not have a stone to speak.
Right, that's fucking stupid of me. God. She's gonna like kind of let go of her and like is gonna sit down on the bed beside her.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I really am trying to fix all of this. She's gonna take out her holy symbol and is gonna fiddle with it for a second before she does cast sending.
Yeah.
Gonna spend all of her spell slots today, fellas. Before she casts it though, she's gonna be like, okay, well, I learned the spell and I think we can communicate a little bit with it. You felt it when I was gone, and I did hear you back, so she is then gonna cast it. It's gonna be like, have they been treating you well?
You see her mouth moving, but like not actual words coming out, but you just hear it in your head respond. They've been treating me alright, but don't use those spells. We need them just in case something happens. You can ask me yes and no questions. We've gotten by with that.
It's not the same as hearing you speak, though. I got plenty. It's fine. I've gotten stronger since I've left. A lot of fucked up stuff has happened since I left. Well, first things first, we need to figure out this living situation. Do you really want to stay here?
She kind of like looks around and just shrugs a little bit and shakes her head, like kind of like a no, but it could be worse. Essentially, is kind of like what she's going at.
She's going to fiddle in her purse and is going to take out 500 of her gold and is going to give it to Melanie.
Yeah, like looks at it, kind of eyes go wide in shock, and she's like hesitant to take it. She kind of like looks at you.
No, take it.
She looks confused.
I've gone through a lot of shit lately, but it's been a lot of lucrative shit.
Takes it and then kind of like looks around with very like this sort of like what am I supposed to do with this?
Do you want to stay here? Do you want to go home?
She nods at the second one.
Go home?
She nods again.
Because I was thinking about sending you back.
She kind of like gestures to herself, like pats herself with her paws, and then kind of like shakes her head.
I know. I don't know what to do about that though. I've learned some spells, but I don't think they'll work on this. She is going to try and cast Remove Curse on her.
Cast Remove Curse. You just hear just in your kind of both of your heads just a faint, familiar, feminine chuckle.
Oh my god.
As you gather, this is more powerful than just a simple spell like that can remove. As the left, you can see her like hair go on end, just look around and just sort of scowling.
That's gods, yeah. Fuck. I want to do more for you, but I don't know what to do. You've always been the smart one. One of my companions, he's made a deal with one of them.
Tilts her head when you say that.
An Archfey, not a fan of Dania.
And like eyes, as you say that, your eyes go wide, and they holds up like two fingers. Almost as very much like a. There's more than one.
I know, that's how I felt too. It was too many. He's a right prick too. Fuck. But
squints for a moment, and sort of points at you, and does like a motion like towards her mouth, and in yours, and towards her head.
Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. She's gonna cast sending again. Go on.
Can he help us? I don't care if he's a prick. Can he turn me back?
I don't know, but if I stay around with him, if I'll stay around with Rowan and help him. I don't know, maybe I can use him.
She just like nods, like quickly, like very enthusiastically, like yes, please.
I'll do it for you if it's what you want.
Nods.
If you think it'll help.
Nods quickly.
Gods, I'm gonna get myself in much worse shit.
Like, see, as her like sort of has like a slight bit of excitement, and then sort of as you say that, sort of like shoulders slump a little bit, and just holds up her hand, just sort of gestures to you, like very much like just to be safe.
I want to make sure you're comfortable before I go, though. Unless you want to come with us, but I don't.
Ears flatten a little bit, and she kind of glances off to the side, and you kind of look over to the side and see like her bag, scratch and claw marks, kind of tearing it up a little bit as she seemed to have trouble like opening it. She doesn't have thumbs anymore. She can't fiddle with a lot of things. You're kind of gathering that there's a lot that she's limited in doing now. Like she can't go in. She's having trouble opening a bag. She's not gonna be able to really wield a weapon or pick locks or do any things that she's used to doing.
I know. Fuck. Have you gotten any better at holding things at all?
She sort of shrugs.
I have. Fearne said this was kind of a mess. She's going to pull a wand of wonder that she traded Fearne those paints for. There's no telling what the fuck this thing is going to do, honestly, when you use it. So emergencies only, please. She's gonna hand it to her.
Kind of like grabs it and sort of holds it awkwardly. It does have like the near the end of it, like those sort of like little parts that kind of stick out at the top. So it's kind of holding it like partly by those, partly by like where it's supposed to be. And like kind of like looks to you and just almost like am I supposed to do something with this right now?
No.
Pull from like small little bag she has on her side, kind of pulls out a small thing, sets it down, and basically you sort of just the sort of symbol that your guys' family kind of had, and just kind of taps that. It's very much like sort of like getting like a want to go back to the family.
I know, I do too.
Kind of looks at the gold, you hand it towards her, and then looks to you and just makes gestures of like using. Can we use the gold to go back?
Do you feel like it's safe?
Shrugs and nods.
Let me see. She's gonna like drag her like paw against her head and is going to look towards the door for a second, and then is going to sit down on the floor across from her. I can see about arranging to send you home, but I don't think it's gonna be safe for me to stick around.
Puts her head kind of like the other way and just gestures to you.
I don't know why, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more following me. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. There's a lot of fucked up things that happen. Oh God, let me just tell you. And she's going to relay what happened over at the Whispering Coves and at the island they were just at.
Yeah, she'll listen as you kind of go through the process of like telling her everything. Listens intently, and a lot of times eyes shocked, wide, concerned, worried, relieved that you're okay. Very much like that's a lot.
And if we want to fix this, and she's going to gesture at both of them, I can't go home.
Raises a brow.
That Rowan fella is really sought out on revenge, and I'm gonna have to help him, I guess, if we want to try and get his archfey friend under our thumbs. She's gonna kind of wave her paw and yeah, I know we don't got any. Kind of.
Nods a little bit and gives you a look of like sort of after.
Of course. I want nothing more than to go home. God, everyone outside of our family are assholes.
She like tilts her head a little bit and just sort of like looks at like the sort of symbol that you use of your family, and just, you kind of gather like you're very much getting like the some of our family was assholes too, with a smile. She kind of has that.
Bruce gonna smile back at her. Yeah.
Leans forward and gives you another hug and sort of pats your shoulders. Nods, just kind of like seems like it sort of like relax your shoulders a bit, and then sort of glad that you're safe, essentially.
Yeah, I'm glad you're safe too. I miss you a lot. Do you want to get out of here for a bit?
Sure. Sort of just shrugs a little bit and leaves it up to you, it seems.
Come on, wanna go meet some weirdos?
Squints slightly. Just nods very slowly.
We gotta get them to want to take you back home.
Just looks at the gold. Gather like very much like, don't really have to. We can use the gold.
Marie magically contacted Fearne and agreed to meet up with her and Rowan at the docks so the other two could meet her cousin Melanie.
Yeah, she's gonna gesture for Melanie to follow her.
While leaving, the Spire grabbed Marie for one last request.
If you're meeting with him again, bring him here so I can express my thanks in person.
Oh, really? Okay.
So nods a
Yeah.
little bit.
If you think they're trustable enough, they're not going to go around spreading the word of where our location is.
I think they're trustworthy. Yeah. If you want to meet them, I'll make it happen.
Be very much appreciated.
She's gonna curtsy at him, and then she's gonna grab Melanie and she's gonna try and start booking it.
Marie and Fearne ended up meeting at the docks slightly before Rowan came back from lunch with his father.
Hey, over here.
Marie? Oh,
All right, well, Melanie, this is Fearne. She's one of the people I've been traveling with, and Fearne, this is my dearest cousin, Melanie.
Melanie as well does walk on all fours as she gets there. And before kind of like standing up a little bit and just sort of giving a small little wave.
hello. Hi, Melanie. Does she not talk like you?
Oh, no. She's going to kind of like draw just like one little toe pad over the little blue bead hanging from her neck. We only got one.
Oh. Well, I guess we can ask Mako about finding another one.
Yeah, I can't really say no to that.
Rowan and Eamon finally made it to the docks to meet up with Fearne, Marie, and Melanie.
As he parts, he just gives you another hug and walks off to go help with Shamara with the ship and stuff.
Alright, he'll kind of just like wave at his dad and then Shamar and head over to the two cats. Two of them?
Two cats and
And
Fearne.
Fearne.
Melanie kind of gets back down on the all fours, sort of sitting down.
Hi.
So you kind of come up and wave a little bit.
He's like, okay, he's
Rowan?
just taking this in.
Rowan, this is Melanie. Melanie, this is Rowan.
She kind of like takes a moment, like looks to Rowan, and then looks to you, Marie, and she like nudges you for a moment, and kind of gestures to Rowan slightly, like curiously.
He's also part of our group.
Well, what are you?
I was going to take them to Mako's to see if we can find another stone.
All right.
And then after, it's so lucky we came upon you, because after, I believe you guys have been requested to visit my boss.
Oh?
What?
I'm not so certain it's actually a request.
Rowan led Marie, Melanie, and Fearne to Mako's magic shop in hopes that the strange Minotaur perhaps had another magic stone that Melanie could use to talk like Marie.
You guys walk inside, small little bell just rings, and kind of looking around, you notice there's a fair amount of items that are new, and you don't see a lot of the same old items either. I hear kind of from the back, sounds like footsteps before you see Marie. What you would see for the first time. What Melanie would see for the first time, a very large Minotaur man, kind of ducking underneath the door a little bit, coming over, and you see like he has a sort of monocle with multiple kind of lenses that would have the ability to kind of flick down over the initial lens. He has that on his left eye, decently well dressed as well, and kind of like looks between all of you. And I think I remember you guys. How's it going? I don't actually remember the cats really, but I feel like I remember you all talking about pets at one point, so it's good to see you got some. Probably not as dangerous as some of the bigger ones you were talking about, I think.
Definitely not pets.
Oh, you talk too.
Marie's gonna stand up and like dust off her skirts.
Well, I apologize then. I definitely came across more as pets.
But gentlemen, she's going to look up at Fearne in this most despairing way.
Oh man. Well, Fearne's gonna walk up and be like, "Well, nice to see you again, Mako.
You as well. How are things?
Well, we went through a lot.
Well, I mean,
Um,
tends to happen to adventurers. I remember you guys were all pretty new to it when you were last in here.
yeah. We actually we're looking for something. She's gonna pick Marie up and hold her out a little and be like,
Oh
"The
my
stone?"
god.
I don't know what that is.
She's going to lift up her head and is going to, like, touch the little blue bead hanging from her throat again. This is, it allows me to speak. We're wanting to know if you can perhaps acquire another like it.
Sets it down on the table and kind of flicks some of the lenses over until it gets to like a yellow lens that kind of pops up over, and kind of like begins looking at it and inspecting it closely. I don't understand.
Oh, shit.
It's not enchanted.
It's not.
At least, you know, when I'm identifying it here, it's not magical. Not saying it's not giving me anything. So I don't know, like, if it's something with, like, only cats can, you know, it's only magical when it's touching a cat, maybe, or you have plenty of other things, though. You know, gestures around the shop, if you're, so interested.
And the badge.
Yeah, right, that one's, kind of an interesting one. Apparently it teleports you. From what I was understanding when I was identifying it, essentially casts plane shift, but it has a specified place that it goes back to each time. Which is apparently a tavern. Takes you somewhere.
Oh
I will also say this, that I don't know the command phrase.
So it's basically useless.
Well, not necessarily useless. If somebody's able to cast you know, something like a legend lore spell probably on it, then I got 2 bags of holding you now. Is working on a haversack that it's not quite finished yet.
Ooh, how long would that take?
For the haversack? Yeah, it's probably gonna take about another week or 2.
She'll take out the 300 and hand it to her.
She's going to stick it in a purse with the rest of it, and she's going to hand it to him.
Alright, yeah, no, I'll make sure I don't sell it if you... I mean, if you don't come pick it up within, you know, time frame, whatever, I do have rights to sell it. Well,
Of course.
technically, I guess I didn't really apply in Bargetide, but you know.
We'll be back, as usual.
Sounds good. You guys walk out and kind of walk outside. Melanie kind of like, as she goes to walk out the door, kind of almost hits like an invisible wall.
She's gonna try and cast Dispel Magic on the doorway.
Falls through, the barrier seems to disappear in front of her. It kind of quickly rushes out. You see Mako kind of look up. I'm gonna need you to come back here, actually. And also, I'm gonna need you to pay for that, too.
God damn it.
Because there's a reason that barrier's there, and I was just kind of watching and seeing if you guys figured it out, but...
Wish you would have told me we were gonna do
Melanie
this
just kind of like
before.
looks to you and just sort of like gestures like we should go.
You already got so much money. Fuck.
What the fuck is going on
Go.
right now?
She's gonna like push both it back in.
I'm gonna lead you to, you know, pay for the enchantment that I'm gonna have to put back up on the door.
God damn it. Melanie.
She kind of like looks to you and just sort of like ears droop a little bit. Kind of pulls out a small little what looks to be like sort of like goldish silverish pocket watch. And kind of trudges inside and goes to put it away again.
How much does it cost?
For that enchantment, for that one, that's gonna be another 300 gold. They get all the
You have
components
it?
and everything for it.
Oh, I don't have nothing.
Fearne's
Rowan
gonna
just
walk.
crosses his arms. He's not thrilled.
All right, Marie. If I pay for this, you have to pay me back for this part.
It's no worries, it's just gonna, you know, next time, maybe when you can't leave a shop and one of you can't leave a shop, to consider maybe why you can't leave a shop.
Shaking
Go
his
back
head
out.
as they come out.
Don't start with me.
Oh, I'm not the one who fucking tried to steal from the store, alright? Family, whatever the fuck. Thieves. You know, like, out of all the, out of all the stores you could have fucking tried to steal from, why would you steal from the man who has all the fucking magic items? Like, you don't think there's some kind of, he pulled out his water skin.
Renew.
Shrugs and looks to the doors and gestures, kind of slightly gestures to us like she didn't think there would be something like that there.
Yeah, I didn't either, to be honest. I've never run into that before.
After the stealing debacle, the party decided to run by the ship that had left them for dead on Akmar. The captain, Heskin, was astonished that the three were alive, but seemed pleasantly surprised. He agreed to resort shares from the ship and crew, so the party was able to get paid, though it would take a day or two to get it figured out. While on the ship, the party asked where they could find Benji, as Fearne wanted to ask him more questions about the mercenary dwarf who was chasing after her, and it seemed Benji may have more information. Heskin told them they could find the half-orc somewhere called the King's Coin. Fearne, however, decided before doing anything else, she wanted to check up on her good friend Au, and let her know she was alive, so the four made their way to Au's little herbalist shop deeper in Bargetide.
Oh, hi.
It's
good to see all of you again.
Hug immediately.
She kind of like takes a step back and kind of holds her arms up and hugs you, returns a hug. I see it's good to see me as well. Everything all right?
Oh.
She kind of like then pauses and kind of looks and sees Marie now. Do you all awaken a cat?
Oh, I can't do that.
It's a long story.
It's
Oh.
Well, yes, I'm very awakened. Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Do you all want to take a seat? I can get some tea, and you can tell me about it.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, tea sounds nice.
She kind of walks past you. Give me a moment. I'm going to just lock the door. And it goes and locks the door, and just kind of turns around. Oh, there's it. Is this one a cat with you?
Don't mind her.
You see Melanie kind of stand up on the high. Melanie kind of stands up on high legs and just sort of like raises her hand. But I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Can she talk?
No.
Not that one.
Does she want tea as well? But actually, fairly quickly, Elle comes back with a pot that seems to be steaming. Sounds like you have a story.
That whole island was so fun.
That's what for it.
Sounds definitely interesting.
Despite the vampires and the giant plant-eating monster, we found a tower that was a little crazy. Also not fun.
It was a little bit of fun.
Not fun.
Not fun how? Or fun why?
Well, rocks tried to kill us.
Rocks? Golems. Oh, golems. Okay.
With that room you could make anything happen in.
That one was very strange.
That sounds like fun, unless that sounds thrilling.
No, I would take that room 1,000 times over the corpse plants.
I would take that room over the island that we were just on. That too. We got onto a second island. That's a whole nother not fun ordeal, but we helped people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that island, we went to see if somebody was on it, because I thought I saw somebody, but it appeared to be not true. But we went further, and then we got stuck on it, and we had a fight. What was it, Rowan? An Ithalid?
No, that's Rusk. That's an aboleth.
That's right. An aboleth. Yeah, we had to fight an aboleth.
You're kind of like looking kind of from Fearne, then kind of over to you, Rowan, because it seemed like you just immediately knew more information about it, and like, sort of look towards you, Rowan, like what is that?
It's a good question. Do you know anything about the far realms? It's from there. That's basically all we know. Tentacled kind of fish with lots of eyes, you know?
Kind of terrifying?
Oh, absolutely terrifying.
Well, we killed it.
That's good.
And it was controlling a lot of people on the island and making them think that they liked being there, but they really didn't. So I think most of them are going home.
See, there was an Illithid, which it was a mind flare, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm just realizing how fucked up these past couple of weeks have been.
Oh yeah, real fucked up.
Sounds like you've all done a lot of good, though. Which is, she kind of looks at you, Fearne, and kind of smiles, which is great.
It was a little scary, a lot to take in, but yeah, those people are free to go home if they please to. Some of them are staying.
That whole island was just such a mind fuckery, I suppose, is the word.
It was a lot.
A lot of lies, a lot of fucking information thrown at us that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, definitely. Apparently, that saying knew about us.
I'm still not sure that's true.
What? Speaking of, like, what was he talking about when he was saying the time is near? Fearne.
I mean, I told you that happened when I was a teenager too. It's a little scary, so I didn't really talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it.
Well, now's the time.
Well, now's the time. Yeah. Well, whenever I was 15 or 16, I woke up with my younger sister sitting on me and said those same words, but not in her voice. Well, it was hers, but not hers. It was like echoey. Like if you went into a cavern.
Like
and
otherworldly, almost?
Sort of.
Hmm.
And it never came back up.
Melanie as well is kind of sitting there and just every now and again kind of laughing at her cup, but just kind of looking between all of you guys.
And I met somebody that gave me a name of the guy that was chasing me when I found you. His name's Benji, but he told me the name of the guy. His name's Theodric Blessed Breaker. Apparently he's a mercenary that follows the cloaked serpent.
I see.
So, a little worrying.
But it's a name now.
And you haven't told anyone other than us and Alton. But Alton seemed like a pretty good guy. I guess Tashara knows too. Fuck.
How many people do you know?
I mean, I had to get information if I was gonna get it out.
I've never told
Figure out
anybody.
who he is.
Figure out who is. The Theodric?
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Benji told me he's very good at his job. I mean, he hasn't found me in 3 years, so there's that.
No, I did also set a very strange course when you were sailing to throw him off our trail and make it harder to find. There's also a reason I had you stay on the ship in many of the ports.
I'm just now thinking that it's a little more worrying since I'm venturing out more.
Talking about that, we've been doing some very not under the table things lately.
Is he chasing a changeling? Like that's who he's chasing, right?
Well, I might have to start thinking about changing what I look like.
Well, but has he ever seen you like you are now?
Definitely.
I mean, that was back. No, it was back in Adela.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as long as word doesn't get out about a changeling, you should be fine. No one's gonna fucking come to Bargetide if they don't have to. And if Elle plotted her course like it sounds like, I mean, this seemed like a decent place to start, to be honest. Like, very good place.
This is the last place I've looked for a noble elf girl.
And the only people that know are you all and that one Tashara person you're talking about?
Benji.
Did you tell him though?
About me? No.
And you right, so you didn't just going off of facts of who does know. You told nobody else, so
I mean, I met another changeling on the island. The second island.
you told them too?
I mean, I would have to tell them if they were gonna tell me anything about our kind.
So you just told them that you were a changeling? Like they don't know about the dwarf coming after you?
Well,
Fearne.
See, I was kind of like tilting her head a little bit to like sort of focus more on you, Fearne.
didn't want them to use this face and end up getting murdered for using it.
But you could also just be like, hey, don't use my face, by the way, because, you know, not a good idea. How much did you tell him? Them?
I'm Rowan, please, calm down. I'm concerned, like Rowan is, but how much did you tell him?
I told them not to use my face and told them about Thordric.
Did you tell them why he was chasing you?
I just told them that he was chasing me that I know of is because I'm a changeling. So that's all I know right now.
Did you trust this person? How much did you talk to them? How well did you know them?
I mean, I just met them as we talked about changeling stuff, but I mean, I wouldn't say I trusted them.
Rowan is gonna let out a very, like, he is fighting himself to not. Yeah, I know I'm not the best at words, but I thought we kind of had a conversation about trusting people with sensitive information. And that's very sensitive information. I don't know anything about this changeling, but let's just say, the right words come to him, and he can get a lot of money for telling where he saw ya. You're putting not only yourself in danger, but us, and Elle if you're here. Like, you understand that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I wasn't really thinking about that.
I'm Fearne, you really need to think more about that specifically because of what is, happening to you with someone following you who's good at their job. Money talks, and I wouldn't do it. You gotta really trust people,
I mean, if they're gonna tell him, they're probably gonna figure it out.
I'm just. He's gonna get up and just kind of walk out.
As much as I hate to agree with Rowan on things, he has a point.
I was just kind of like looking down at the cup, just sort of thinking.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, nobody else was helping me figure this out, so I had to do it on my own.
I think I'm worried about you, really, because you're adventuring away more. I can't hide you or protect you. I don't want to keep you here. It's not good for you, but I need you to be more careful. I don't want to have to worry.
Trying. It's just...
I know you want to know. It's all confusing and everything. It's not something you can just go look up, like she gestures to Marine, like you could about a cat. That's the same reason that you need to be careful with it. Be careful who you tell and talk to. That's why I'm trying to help him. You need to rely on others to help you.
I don't really have anybody, but she kind of motions to Marie and Elle and to the door.
Did you learn anything from them?
Basically what everybody else is telling me. Don't trust people. They change their face quite a bit when they need to.
I think if the door's looking for you and has a potential lead, it might be a good idea to think of a new, she kind of gestures like over her own face, facade.
I know you got a really cute guy you could turn into, so...
Just gonna put a hand on her mouth and try not to laugh.
It doesn't have to be a guy if you don't want to, though. If you want, actually, I didn't talk about her a lot, but, well, you remember my sister?
To butter a little.
If you want, you could appear as her.
That won't be awkward for you?
No. It'd be nice to see her face again, and I can separate that if it's you or her. Besides, you're like a sister to me now as well.
She'll just smile at that. Well, I have a couple of faces that I've been using. I could use those or your sister's, or...
I don't know what it's like changing constantly. I imagine it can be exhausting, so if I was just thinking of something more permanent you could appear as.
Could pick something. Yeah?
You're kind of like smiling, but if you wait maybe till tomorrow, I get something drawn up.
They, the other changeling, they said that they pick, certain ones, certain personas that they perfect, and then use those, but they also have, other ones that they use just in case.
Such as she gestures to you.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, I learned that at least. They weren't very talkative.
They're saying that to trust people, and it's understandable why. Which does make me a little bit more on edge about you telling them, but cross that bridge when it comes to it if something happens.
Hard to learn what you are when you're alone.
You're not alone.
I mean, she motions to herself. This?
Doesn't mean you're alone. Just means you're a little different than others.
I get it. People can't understand what they don't know, right?
Cool learning about your species when you're the only one that you know of. So I probably jumped the gun when seeing another one.
You have people that care, Fearne, and you have people that want to help you. It's difficult to learn about it, and you will make mistakes. You just need to learn from those.
She just sighs and just goes, people are difficult.
People are very difficult. But I found living in seclusion as a hermit is not very fun either. Eventually you want to talk to people and you start talking to yourself, it's just not the same. It sounded like you all had more of a story to tell. I was interested in more details if you wanted to share them.
I'll go grab him. I'll go talk to him out there. Wanted to sit by you for a second?
Oh. Okay.
Sorry if I fucked something up.
He'll just kind of sigh and kind of pinch his brow before looking over towards Fearne. I just don't think I don't think I've ever met someone who's quite as I self-preservation doesn't seem to mean anything to you.
I'm trying to figure stuff out. A little difficult when we're kind of chewed up and spit back out everywhere we go.
Yeah, like we kind of talked on the boat a little bit. I mean, you have a goal in mind that you want. Like, what do you want to know? What are you going after? What are you trying to figure out?
Putting that on hold right now, I guess.
So you don't have a goal in mind.
Helping you.
That's not a goal. I don't understand why you want to help me. Like why that is your sole thing that you want to do.
I mean, there's other stuff I want to do, but your stuff's here. My stuff's in Adela.
I just help me understand why exactly do you want to help me?
Doesn't seem like anybody else really is. You are smart, Rowan, and I was gonna see if you could help me with my stuff.
I think you're looking in the wrong places for information. You know, I'm not the best to describe things, but just, be careful. I know you don't like hearing that clearly, but like be careful, okay?
Welcome back.
We met a lot of people.
I mean, that's what you wanted, right, Fearne?
Yeah, some of them are easier to figure out than others.
Be careful about those ones. Everybody's complicated. And the ones that are not are generally hiding something or maybe a bit more malicious.
But I can. Most of the people we ran into weren't too bad.
Burped really nice.
The half-orc was probably the worst, but,
That's
just very loud.
actually, he's fairly cute.
Zal's really hard to understand, but she's really smart.
So, where did you all meet?
At the Whispering Cove.
Also looking for diamonds.
Shoots a glare at Marie.
What?
Oh yeah, no, we met her all right.
Got something in your iron?
I don't know. What'd you find in our bags whenever we found you for the first time,
Not a lot, to be honest.
Oh, you were stealing from them.
You know.
Here glances back to Fearne and Rowan. Did you all find her in the forest?
The tavern. Fearne's gonna hold her hands up and be like, that was not my choice to ask her to come with, so don't blame me for that one. Rowan's the one that asked.
It wasn't really my choice either.
But I'm happy that we got to know Marie.
That's a word for it. But no, wait, you didn't have to come.
You kind of forced me. You kind of beat the shit out of me.
Well, yes, because you're trying to fucking steal from us. You were just gonna run. What are we gonna do?
And then you were like,
those two are arguing, Fearne's just gonna stare at Elle like, oh god.
Kinda sounds like you both knew you were in the wrong.
She looks super stressed out.
During their conversation with Elle, Marie accidentally had a slip of the tongue and mentioned Rayla's secret of having dragon features. Luckily, Elle didn't seem to notice, however, Rowan definitely did.
Rowan is gonna be glaring at Marie, and he's just gonna be in a very serious tone. I think we all need to have a talk after we leave here. A serious one.
I'll come by again when things cool off. I think we all need a little chat together.
Oh, we definitely do.
Make sure to leave the door unlocked. I should expect customers at this point, I guess. Fearne, I'll have the picture of my sister tomorrow.
Okay, I'll come back.
Alright. Thing is, we need to have a very serious conversation. I don't particularly want you in my fucking home, but unfortunately there's not really many places we can talk without fucking people hearing us, or at least having a chance. So let's go back to the clinic now, and we're gonna have this conversation. Alright?
She looks very unhappy about this, and she's just like, fine.
And he will lead them to the clinic.
On your way to the clinic, you do have to pass through the docks again. Just on an off glance, Rowan, you do notice, and Fearne, because you know the ship, you do notice that the nameless Midnight seems to be back in port.
He will make mental note of that.
Passing by, you see like the turtle that normally seems to kind of greet you guys at it, just sort of looking to you all and just sort of giving kind of like a knowing nod and just sort of raising a brow as you guys all kind of walk past.
Fearne's just gonna give him an awkward smile.
He truthfully is very set right now on their task, so he probably just is not doing anything. He's just walking.
Tell the captain that you'll be by later today.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
He won't even look back. He's still just making a beeline.
You know she's not one for waiting much. You see how he kind of glanced back and he seems sort of smiling.
Rowan will not address it. He will just
Kind of.
he will pause mid-step and then just start walking again.
Rowan ushered Marie and Fearne upstairs while leaving Melanie downstairs with Rayla and Bert. Before following Rowan and Marie, Fearne stopped to talk to Rayla briefly.
She's just gonna awkwardly look at her and be like, I want to talk to you later and apologize and ask you for advice.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're both awkward. I'm so sorry.
Alright.
I did want to apologize, Rayla, for getting snippy. We'll talk about it later. She's gonna run away.
Fearne joined Marie and Rowan upstairs for the talk that would hopefully have them working better as a team, or perhaps parting ways.
Rowan will take a long swig of his water skin before looking Marie.
Kind of still not looking at him, kind of looking off to the side. Okay, please, when we're talking to strangers, stop bringing up the fact that I stole from you guys. Because it's impossible for me to even start connecting with people when that gets brought up.
I will try to not bring that up. It's just difficult because that is exactly how we met. And I know maybe it seems unfair, but it's also, that is the first impression we have. I'm not particularly fond of you.
I'm not particularly fond of you. My first impression was that you guys beat the shit out of me and dragged me up somewhere. Why don't we just say that we came across each other and decided to work together? We don't have to bring up all the ill that we both did. And I know I started it. You need the money to fucking go places and you guys look like an easy target. I was really wrong.
I mean, I would be fine with that. But the thing is, I feel like I have to be able to trust you if I even want to attempt to possibly ask you in the future to help me with anything. And right now, I don't trust you with any kind of secret.
I'm not asking you to tell me secrets.
But you already know them. Like, you can't throw around, Fearne being a changeling, Rayla, the whole dragon thing.
Okay. I'll work on it. I'll keep my tongue tied. And I know you don't trust me, but I do need you, and specifically you, so I will try and work with you.
You need me, specifically?
Well, I need Vizier, right?
You need Vizier?
He knows things that I need to know, and I'm not particularly comfortable working with Archfey, but you saw Melanie. I'm doing a lot better than she is. I can't not pursue a possible thread to help her.
So you're sticking around for Vizier, for information he has that he'll probably never divulge. He might divulge.
Rowan, I don't have anything else. I don't have any other possible leads.
I'm not particularly fond of this option, but I will see what I can possibly do, as long as you promise that you're going to fucking just think before you talk to strangers.
Will do. I'd rather just not talk to strangers at all.
So this means you're I'm assuming you're sticking to me. I'm assuming.
If you don't shoot me out.
So, Marie wants to work with me. If you help me, I help you with Vizier. Try.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I can't control that man.
Yeah.
Fearne, what are you planning on doing? Like, I know you're talking about how you're on the island and you feel like a burden and doing things for yourself, but like, why are you still sticking around here?
I mean, I've been with you long enough to see that you are strong, Rowan. And that man after me scares me. I mean, he hasn't found me yet, but that's not going to say he's not going to. And else, all I have, I just don't want to be alone with that. I don't think I'm strong enough by myself to do that.
I mean, I don't think I'm particularly the person you'd come for protection. Given he kind of gestures just to the air. Given everything I'm involved in.
But people rally around you. It's not always physical strength, I think.
You're a really good talker.
Yeah.
What? You
might not see it, Rowan, but you are good at talking to people.
I I wouldn't say that. I have people to talk to. I need to figure out things. I don't know what your two plans are. I need to go talk to Saida. I don't particularly want to pry into this at all, especially if you're uncomfortable with it. But I know we kind of talked on the ship and outside of Elle's shop, and I think you really need to figure out what you're doing. I mean, what you want to do. Because, I mean, hanging around random people for protection, I mean, understandable, but, like, you can't just hide forever. Like, you gotta, have something.
I'm not sure what else to do. I mean, he looks terrifying. I mean, I want to confront him sooner or later because I want to go home, but I don't know how to do that.
You were saying that you're jealous because I know exactly what I want. I mean, you need to, I don't say you need to pick something, but, like, maybe think about that, and then that way have a goal to be working for. You can't just sit here traveling with us, weirdos, just because we're protection. You should be doing things.
Gotta pursue your threads.
You can't just stay in Bargetide forever. It's not really great for the mental state.
No, I want to go home, but I don't think that's an option yet.
I mean, no, but like I said, you should, I don't know. I know you were saying that you really haven't done much the last few years you were here. Maybe it's time to start thinking about what you want to do.
Most of that time was on a boat.
I know, but now you're here in Bargetide, and this is the perfect place to figure what the fuck you're doing, because Bargetide's everything. You should be thinking about that.
I like helping people.
I mean, there you go. Just think about it, because I know what I'm doing. Marie knows what she's doing. Perhaps not the best people to hang out with for protection. It's okay for now if you want to travel with us for protection, but you can't just spend the rest of your life hanging out with people you don't even like or know very well just for protection. You should be doing things, But anyway, I'm not here to fucking have some talk with you, so we can get going.
After coming to a shaky truce, Rowan decided to take Marie and Fearne to meet his one friend in Bargetide, Captain Saida, as it seemed the three would be working together for a while longer. Marie parted ways with Melanie and sent her back to the Spire's grotto, not sure where the rest of the day would take them. The group made their way to the ship known as the Nameless Midnight, where they would find Saida, or at least a very exhausted version of her. Saida proceeded to tell the trio that she couldn't sleep without getting dragonflower for a sleeping tea she used. Her supply she had been growing was unfortunately destroyed on the outing she had just returned from, and dragonflower was a pretty rare ingredient to find. The party left Saida to hopefully find some rest while they sought out Benji at the King's Coin. The King's Coin was a shifty place, even by Bargetide standards, but the party did end up finding Benji there.
I don't really think so. I don't give a fuck what you are. You're a pet.
How much do we have to fucking grease your hands to let us in with the pet?
Kind of like, you see him like glance to the side again and kind of back to you and sort of slightly smirk. 5 gold.
Fucking outrageous price. But fine.
I mean, I don't got to let you in.
Fiona's just gonna put her hand up and dig out 5 gold and hold it out.
Takes it and looks at it. Alright. Pockets it away and opens the door. Come on in.
Yeah, thanks. So fucking grateful.
You are welcome. Enjoy your stay.
Lovely.
Marie's gonna huff when she walks past him.
So you guys walk in, the door opens to a very narrow descending staircase that's very, very dimly lit, just by kind of candles hung up. Heading down the stairs into where the tavern is, the first thing you guys notice is there's a massive stone fireplace on the far side of the hall. It's carved to look sort of similar to what looks like a demon's face, with its mouth open wide within the fireplace. There's a very large, fat ruby that glows in one eye, while the other eye socket remains empty.
This place doesn't look suspicious at all.
That's pleasant.
It's not a huge fire roaring in there, but it's just enough, just enough to kind of probably warm the place up and just keep it sort of a modest fire. The center of the room has a few round tables, each surrounded with chairs, and illuminated with small kind of candles in the center of them. To either side, several booths are built into the walls that seem to be able to seat large creatures, capable of seating larger creatures such as minotaurs or even like an ogre or something potentially. Each is equipped with a thick curtain that can be drawn for privacy.
Oh my god.
At the bar, there are more candles kind of set all along it, sort of illuminating the place in sconces, as well lighting up the bottle cabinets. There's a large portrait of looks to be sort of like a man sort of dressed like a king, or similarly, that rests high on the wall, keeping watch over the patrons. You see a variety of people, sort of just sitting about here. You see that there is the two sort of probably seem to be innkeepers and bartenders. Seem to be the two drow that are just sort of serving people and kind of washing down the counter and whatnot.
Well, he certainly knows how to pick them.
You do see about 6 other well, right now, actually, no, 8 other patrons kind of around in here that you can see immediately, I should say.
Fearne, make sure that whatever Benji asked to pay you, you subtract 5 gold from it. That's part of the payment, I'd say.
Oh, okay. 5 gold. Is it because of the door?
Yeah, it's the door. You have to pay to come find the man, take that off the tab that he asked you for. For information, take it off. Because that's included in the price. Just saying.
Okay. I'll do that.
I mean, it is rude to make a girl hunt you down.
Do we see Benji?
Make a perception check.
I got a 10.
19.
Remember to say shift click for advantage, Fearne.
Didn't help. She's scared. She's nervous. There's a lot of big people in here.
Just look at anybody.
I'm imagining Fearne and Marie are like clung to Rowan.
Yeah, so very obviously, Fearne does not really notice anything.
Marie's on the floor. She can't see.
No. Looking around, you would notice Benji is over by the counter, by the bar. He's back to where you guys entered in from.
I think I found him. He'll motion towards Benji's back.
Okay, can we just go over there?
You really aren't good with people at all, are you? I mean, I'm not good. I don't like people, but you guys are. We'll work on that, I guess. Fucking Christ. Rowan will head over towards the bar.
Marie's gonna scatter behind him.
He's just gonna like shuffle behind him too.
Rowan will. Is there a seat next? I'm assuming there's a seat next to Benji.
Yeah, there's a seat next to him. It's kind of like about midway down the bar. There are 2 other patrons sitting.
Rowan will slide right up and sit in the seat next to him.
And you kind of do so. You see, they kind of tilt their head a little bit and eye raise before they kind of notice you and just sort of sit a little bit more upright and straight up. And, Rowan, welcome. Hello. You're alive. I didn't think that to. And kind of like glances to see both Fearne and Marie. I didn't expect to see any of you alive anymore. I thought that you all died on the island.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Did nobody think to come look for us?
I mean, we thought potentially for a bit to come look for you, but you just sort of shrugged a bit. It was a very sizable island. We don't know where you went, and we don't know what killed you. I don't know. It could have killed us too.
Lovely.
You all were going. We gave you time. We gave about 3 or so days, and decided we add a ship here and a bunch of gold on it. We didn't want to wait in port, so we just went back to Bargetide.
Marie does not look impressed with him.
He kind of just glances at you, like kind of smiling a little bit. And don't tell me you wouldn't have done the same.
I mean, I guess it depends on who's on the fucking island, but Unfortunately, that does make sense, so I can't really hold that against that. He'll take a sip of his water skin.
Maybe if you're going to hold that against me, you have to hold it against the entire ship. Everybody left.
Oh, don't worry, that's something I could... holding a grudge is something I'm pretty good at, but don't worry.
Yeah, I can tell. I believe you told me a little bit about that, right? Yeah, like smiling slightly. Kind of like taps the counters. Well, that's all in the past, though. You are alive, and that is good. I am glad to see you all. So he kind of turns to the bartender. Bartender. He kind of waits for one of them to come over, and then kind of pauses for a moment and turns to each of you. Any type of drinks you all would like? Fearne, do you want a drink? No, remember, I recall you don't really drink it too much.
Water would be nice.
Very well, water. Rowan. Mary.
I am always good for a whiskey.
That's not really what they do here. Mainly wines.
Fearne will perk up at the wine and be like, so they have wine?
Wait, that's, how you say, specialty.
I might take a wine.
Very well.
You're telling me that this kind of bar, tavern, that has that kind of reputation serves fucking wine?
Kind of like looks at you and raises a brow. Me? Yes, they serve wine.
I really wasn't expecting anything that fancy. I mean, I'll take one too.
I mean, it's a nice place. Just because you have a reputation does not mean that you cannot provide good service. Or have wine. And besides, not all wine is good.
I don't drink wine. I'll just...
I mean, I'm sure they might have something a bit harder, but I figured when in Rome. I don't know where that is, but I just heard somebody say it at one point.
I'll just fucking take whatever. I'm not particular about my alcohol.
So then we were 2 wines, and I could use a third glass myself. What? 4 wines then. Because Fearne, you said you are drinking the wine,
Yes.
right?
Wine, I do know.
Very well. Then you guys, like, the bartender, kind of like now looking, like kind of waiting there, kind of looking between them. For Naga. He sits down on the counter. Sets down 3 gold on the counter. Kind of like the bartender takes it and just sort of nods and goes off to go get the drinks. So, then he kind of turns to you all. So, how did you? I'm curious. I'm assuming you talked to Eskin. That's how you found me.
Yeah.
You will collect your share.
Tomorrow?
Not yet.
Did they throw that back into the share, into the hold? I told them to keep it. I just on the off chance, because I know the Brilla went off to try to go get somebody to find you. I told them to save it for maybe a week or so. Keep it separated. I suppose they did not do that.
Well, you know, we're here for a reason. Fearne, do you? This is kind of your thing.
She looks visibly nervous.
Benji, she wants information that you have, supposedly. And you're a good friend, right? He'll say that with kind of like a sharp smile.
Kind of like smiles back at you. Well, if you say so, I suppose I am. Looks at you.
Oh. You see, I'm not great at talking to people, so me trying to talk to you on the ship was just...
Like I said, you were very awkward.
Yes.
But I didn't mind. I've dealt with worse. Well, almost worse.
You can say it. I'm not that great. It's okay.
Well, I already did. I just agreed with you.
Oh my god.
She just looked at him like, see, and that went right over my head. I am still curious about that person that we...
Wait. I just realized. Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you. Perhaps we should move somewhere else after we drink our wine to talk about this, because, you did happen to pick one of the more reputable places.
I mean, I did, and there's a reason for that. But if you wish to be a bit more private, if you have a gold or a couple, I believe, what is the price? You can look as the bartender actually is kind of walking back over the glasses. What is the price for the booth now? Is it still 5 silver or is it 2 gold? And the bartender kind of looks at you guys. 2 gold. Benji kind of like 2 gold.
Since it's my
Since
it's my thing, she's gonna take out 2 gold.
Rowan gives her a pointed look.
So it's 2 gold in the counter. And the drow kind of like just takes it and nods. That one over there. You know, gestures to like a booth, one of the booths that kind of has a curtain you can draw on it. Then he takes his cup and kind of like stands up. Right, well, let's head over to then.
All right.
He begins making his way there.
Rowan will grab a glass, look down at Marie, let out a really loud sigh, and grab another glass.
She gets some big sparkly eyes, then follows after him pretty happily.
Fearne will grab hers and go after too.
You sit over there, sit down at the booth, and whoever's like last draws the curtain. Give you guys some privacy.
Fearne's just looking at it like this is gonna stop people from hearing us.
Gives you some more sense of privacy, and they're thick curtains, so they might, they dampen the sound a bit. It's not like, it didn't seem like a ton of people were really paying attention, and it was vacant, and there were sounds already going, so it's again, thick curtains, it will dampen the sound. Unless you're yelling through it, it's gonna work to dampen the sounds.
Rowan will sip at the wine while just kind of watching.
Yeah, Marie's gonna sit on the table and also watch some.
As you sip the wine, it is a viciously exotic wine.
Wow.
It has like a spice and kick to it, and almost sort of a strange sort of like aftertaste. It's not quite unpleasant, but is a little
Strange.
Very strange. Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of wine.
Marie looks really uncertain after she takes a few licks of it, and then she's just like, eh.
It's good, but it is, yes, very exotic.
Rowan will kind of just quirk a brow as he's sipping, and then but stay silent. Still enjoy the wine because it's good.
Converted wine drinker.
Benji is, he's there. He's got the booth now. He's kind of waiting for you guys.
Fearne just rubs her brow a little. I know very little information to the reason why that certain person is after me. I don't know anything about him, where he came from, and why he is following me.
And I assume he came from Upping, Wimmeldorf. My mother.
She just kind of like runs her hand over her face, like, that's not what I mean.
I figured that's not what you mean. I don't know where he came from. I don't know where he was born. I don't care enough about to look into that. Yes, I don't with most people.
What I'm getting at is, she looks at Rowan a little bit. It's a very complicated thing that I don't understand.
Hold on. Okay, real quick. I'm going to insert myself in this conversation because I don't particularly trust you,
Thank
Benji.
you.
Nothing against you.
Fearne just looks at Rowan and goes, thank
I mean,
you.
I feel like you were already in this conversation, otherwise we would not have had you back here with us.
So, Fearne...
No, not trusting me, I'm a little hurt by that. I feel like I've done nothing.
No, but it's just sensitive information, and I don't know you very well. So Fearne, I would keep everything else
I'm
completely
trying.
to yourself. No,
I am?
completely everything else. He'll give her like a pointed look to yourself. But the man you want to talk about, that's what we want to talk about. Just more information about him, nothing else. And he'll go back to sipping his wine. If that's what you want to know, sorry. Yeah, I'm assuming. Fuck if I know.
She just, yeah. Thank you, Rowan.
If you start saying something I don't think you should say, I'm gonna hit like
Just
I can't say a buzzer.
Just please intrude, because
Yeah, don't worry. Inserting myself in conversations I don't belong in is a specialty, it seems, so don't worry.
thank you, Rowan.
Ree snorts into her wine.
It is appreciated.
Rowan is looking awkwardly in between the two.
Benji's still kind of like looking. He's like,
Information on the man, that thing, the guy.
Right. The dwarf is not a thing. He's a dwarf. He's still a person. Let's not be fully inconsiderate, even if he does want to be any dead.
She just goes up.
Or dead, or I don't know. Whatever. Something.
I'm pretty sure dead.
Makes sense. It seems as if it is. I say MO.
Yeah. That's comforting.
So I am confused. What more information do you want to talk?
What?
Or is that all you wrote to talk about? Is just say that, and which ways I have nothing to respond with.
What is his specialties? Like, what is he good at?
Killing. From what I know. Finding people.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows. You know, it seems from what I've heard, he has some sort of magics or something of the nature. I don't know if this is just items or things that he's picked up, or what it is. If he actually knows how to do magics.
So you don't know any of his, like, deal?
No, of course I don't. I'm not him. I don't care about his deal. I don't. People pick up a contract. I don't look into their contract. It's not my contract. I don't care.
I'm not what I meant. I meant, like, his abilities.
Not really, no. I have never worked with him. I've never gotten in his way. He's never gotten in mine. So I kept it at that. Becomes a bit weirder when you start questioning and looking into a person, especially in my business. He finds out that I am looking into him and trying to figure out more about him. That becomes curious for him.
I can understand that.
Fearne just kind of puts her hand on her cheek and leans on her elbow on the table a little. Well,
You know, whenever you said he had new information, I assumed it was more than, like, this, but,
I mean, I don't know what more he wanted from me. I know of him. I have seen him. Never talked to him. I've had people that know people that have talked to him. I mean, you could maybe talk to other people that might be better acquainted with that. Sort of, well, perhaps more on the side of posting the jobs, potentially. We shrugged a little bit.
I wonder.
I mean, that's why I'm here and currently in this bar. Getting jobs, at least. Or looking at jobs, at least.
anything interesting?
I haven't looked at them yet. I only got here not fairly recently. About a day ago. I was thinking of to relax. Enjoy some greater comforts, as you may.
Marie suddenly, like, seems to, like, perk up a little bit. Wait, you take bodyguard work, right?
Yeah, sometimes do, yeah.
She looks at him and then looks at Rowan and Fearne with, like, big eyes and, like, cocks her head a little bit. Like,
oh my god. She just looks, it's like,
Rowan is blinking blankly. He is like, this just went over his head. He does not know what the fuck Marie is talking about or insinuating. And will just keep sipping his wine.
Well, Benji, could I interest you in a job, possibly?
I believe I had offered once before. You did not take me up on it.
I would like to possibly say yes to that.
Very well. Then we can write up a contract for it. Or I can have you ready to go talk to somebody to write up a contract, I suppose. Because I am not very good at doing those. I never learned the like gestures with his hand, like writing, like the parchment and legalities and things of that nature. Not that there's always a ton of them, but
It's all very complicated. I get it.
Having it in paper and more of a deal written out.
Yeah.
It's up to security for both you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Through a third party.
Marie's looking at Fearne.
I have never actually done anything like this.
So, Rowan downs his glass as he realizes that he basically is going to have to deal with Benji for an undescribable amount of time. He's just going to sit back comfortably in the booth and just kind of watch with, like, those, like, yes, here I am kind of vibes.
If you want to take something more official written up, a third party, I would recommend talking to kind of gestures to the curtains out back, so just generally out towards the tavern again. It's about a drug half-tooth, half-orc.
Okay.
Is who I would go talk to accept a job currently. And who I was going to talk to probably the day or tomorrow to look at jobs. But if you get something written up, I don't have to talk to them.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Marie awkwardly sips at more of the wine.
Kind of like glance between you guys. And I glances between you all. Well, I mean, you don't have to do so right now, but I mean, I'd recommend doing so before you leave.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what Fearne might want you for, but maybe later. How would you feel about taking someone to Adela?
Yeah, it depends on how long we determine I am upping Fearne.
Okay.
So, at that point, kind of like looks to Fearne. If it's for an extended amount of time, I will not be accepting other contracts such as that. Looks back to you, Marie. Until we have completed ours.
I was just wanting to know interest in general.
I mean, I could do so.
Okay.
A job is a job, and taking somebody, escorting somebody, is generally an easy job, most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
That said, as well, you can also gestures out there, ask Drog about it.
Okay.
He might have somebody he knows.
Basically, right now we're trying to find someone to write a contract, is what it sounds like. For you and Fearne.
As a third party to basically be sort of a backup insurance for either side. In case Fearne breaks the contract or I break the contract.
Well, not that this isn't a great time and so fun. The wine was great, but let's go talk to Grog and just get this done. Grog. Drog.
Did you finish the wine?
Yeah. Oh, he finished it.
Make a constitution saving throw.
Hell
my
yeah.
god.
Oh boy. Let's do it.
Hold on, I can't see. 18.
18? 18 is enough.
Should
You're
we
fine.
all be rolling it?
If you finished it.
Hell yeah.
Throwing down that shit.
Fearne's just sipping. Oh!
Marie's been working on hers. Her constitution's 8.
Marie, a little slightly tipsy, not very, but you are poisoned
Oh no.
for the next
Oh my god.
Oh, it's the grapes, isn't it? Goddamn grapes.
for the next 3 hours you are poisoned.
Oh my god.
Delightful.
Otherwise, you just kind of feel a little kind of sick. But
Ugh.
otherwise, like you're not drunk.
Fearne's still sipping on hers. She's not downing that. She's a sipper, as wine should be.
The only one of them with finesse.
Rowan's just kind of fiddling with the empty glass.
So, somebody to write a contract.
So, Drog, we go talk to this man?
You can go talk to him. If you do not see him out there, which you may not, just go to the counter and ask for some carrot juice.
Is this code?
Is this something normal for mercenaries? Like a bard like
Can be.
this? I see.
It can be. I mean, no, it's not in every city. There are, I don't know. I've been to 2, maybe, that are like this. But you know, for like under table dealings and things of that nature, and mercenary contracts that are not necessarily always in the highest standards, or posted on job boards,
This is a place, things like this is how people would get jobs.
So we are talking to Drog for him to write up a contract, or are we talking to Drog to find someone to write up a contract?
No, you talk to him to write a contract. He normally handles them.
Okay,
I
okay.
was going to talk to him for a job. Unless you know of somebody else, you are welcome to find somebody else. I don't care.
I don't know people. It's alright. Let's go talk to him then.
Well, I am going to stay here since we are at the boot. I'm going to stay here and finish my drink. And when the contract is finished, you can bring it to me and I will sign it and we can be away.
Okay, so before we do that, he like motions to Rowan for a second and be like, what all are you wanting out of this job? She's trying to act professional and she's failing.
She's just gonna like pause. Money? Money? That is generally why.
How much?
How long will I be staying with you?
That I cannot tell you. Do you want to do a month by month, week by week?
If you'd like to do it month by month, then we can do that. Week by week, you can do that. I suppose I can come up with a rate.
Please.
What do you want? Month by month or week by week?
Let's do month by month to be safe.
Let's say 60 gold.
55.
I like squints a little bit.
She looks at Rowan.
Rowan raises his eyebrow like, whoa.
Squints a little bit at you. I did not realize that we were bargaining with this. I thought that you were just asking.
She looks at Rowan and shrugs like, you told me to do.
Oh,
Marie looks really amused.
oh, sorry, that's on me. We had to pay 5 gold to get into the shoddy establishment, so
She looked at Rowan like, you told me to do that.
I told her to take that off of your first.
She just like runs her hands over her face and says, "Oh."
That one's on me.
Then perhaps to make it simpler, he kind of like reaches into his pocket and puts 5 gold on the table. I'll give you the 5 gold now, and we'll just make it 60 gold a month. Oui?
That's fair. Oh, this is so confusing.
I know we just talked about this, but just I told you I'm not the best at advice. This is probably one of those times.
She looks at Rowan stressed out, like, I don't know.
Oh no, this was golden advice.
I think you all are thinking a bit too much about it.
This was golden advice. I think it was great.
Perhaps if you are needing help with something like that as well, talking to people and maybe that sort of stuff, I could go 90 gold a month.
Oh.
Oh, I like quotes.
Wait, so you're basically saying Fearne can buy you as a bodyguard and friend?
I did not say friend, I said as a... what's the word? A life coach, if you will.
A tutor?
Sure, let us go with a tutor. A tutor to talk to people.
Lenny and tutors back home, but not ever to talk to people.
No offense, I do feel like I am better at talking to people than all of you.
Probably, yes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you on that. You know, I will just do the 60 for now. Thanks for the offer.
Very well. When you talk to Drog, let him know there's a month by month basis.
Month by month.
It's
Okay.
60 gold month by month.
I will go talk to him. Rowan, entertain Benji. I'll be back.
Do you want me to come with you, or?
Or whoever wants to stay, whoever wants to go. I'll go ask. Fearne's gonna go up to the bar and lean on it and be like,
Yes,
hello?
looks like the same draw that served you. Although this one is wearing, seems to be, the last one was wearing like sort of a red vest. This one's wearing
Oh my god, are they twins?
He's now in a purple vest, it seems.
Are they twins?
You don't know.
Oh my god.
You'll see the
Wonderful.
He kind of like turns and looks at you. Yes.
I was sent up to ask for a drug.
Who?
Can I have some carrot juice? She looks very like, is that what I was supposed to say?
You see him kind of like raise a brow at you and sort of stand up a little straighter. He kind of like goes around the bar and kind of gestures for you to follow him.
Oh God, she's just like, oh, this is not what I know. Okay, so follow.
Marie's gonna follow at her heels.
He kind of leads you down the hall a little bit, and down a hall at the far side of the tavern. A little bit, kind of to a very far back to a room on the right side. And he knocks on the door for opening it. Looks like, Drug, have a visitor? He kind of opens the door and gestures for you guys to go in.
She just nervously smiles and walks.
You walk in, you see a half-orc man, fairly formidable size. However, despite that, very impeccably dressed. Very like sort of a businessy sort of suit and tie kind of thing going on. But he just kind of nods to the drows. Thank you, Roman. Looks to you as you kind of come in. He's sitting at a small table, just sort of nice chair on his side, but sort of a drink in front of him, along with a couple of coins and other things that he kind of just moves off to the side. Papers that he moves off to the side as you guys come in and gestures for you all to sit at the seat.
Go to the seat and sit down and put her hands in her lap for a second. It does give him a nervous smile.
See him crosses fingers and he just kind of like blank stare.
Does the chair have like arms to it?
Yeah.
Oh, Marie's just gonna hop up onto the arm of the chair beside her and like put a comforting paw on her arm.
See him kind of like cross his hands and sort of hold in front of his face. Kind of glance to you, Fearne, and then glance to the cat that's now sitting on the armrest. Glance back to you, Fearne. How can I help you?
I would like to make a contract with Benji. I am employing him.
And who is this Benji?
A very nice gentleman upstairs. She just looks at Marie like.
So he kind of like licks his lips a little bit as he kind of like sits up a little bit more. I can tell you don't do this much, so I will
I just
help you out.
sent us here.
He kind of like glances to you, Marie, and pauses a minute. You start talking.
She just stares back at him.
Are you making the contract too?
She's like moral support.
Yes.
Then she should be that.
Her ears just flick back.
Since you're new to this, apparently, and obviously have not tried to hire somebody for something. We'll start off with that. What are you hiring them for?
Bodyguard.
Right. You're looking to hire a bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
You already have somebody specific in mind?
Yes.
Not interested in looking.
I know this one. Sort of.
Right. Kind of look to his left. He kind of like rifles through some of the papers and kind of pulls out a couple of sheets. So he sets him in front. Pulls out a quill and an ink pot from like kind of down below where he was sitting. Sets him on and begins kind of writing down. Right.
He told me to tell you that it is a month-by-month basis.
All right.
60 gold.
Okay. He's like writing. He's writing as all this goes down.
Do you need names?
Do you want to give names?
How about his first names? Because I have no idea what his last name is.
His name isn't necessarily as pertinent currently. I'll need to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
At some point. When he accepts the contract.
Okay.
Your last name would be the one that I'd need to know now. If you're going to tell me.
Do you need my last name?
Do you want to give your last name?
Or first name?
It's your choice.
I will give you my first name. It is Fearne.
Goes back and he continues writing down, writes your name as well, right? No set time, just month by month.
Yes. I'm not sure how long I will need his assistance.
And what kind of assistance is this?
Bodyguarding?
Right. And
What are the terms of being a bodyguard? What are things he needs to pay attention to?
Well, I talked to him a little bit about that, a specific person, mostly.
Kind of like looks as if like waiting for you to elaborate more.
She just kind of puts her hand on her forehead a little.
I'll let you know, the more names and detail you give me here in the contract, the more we can uphold and force him to stay within it.
Could you just put, like, a line and I can fill it in?
You realize that I do keep this contract, right?
Oh.
You both will be signing it. I keep it here.
Okay.
You are using us as a third party to ensure that both he and you, keep to the terms of the contract.
How about rephrasing that? Keeping me safe against my... She looks at Marie for words and just like,
Stalker?
You kind of like see him just sort of continue writing something, write something down.
Bodyguard. Being physically protected.
yes.
What else?
Uh,
Any other terms?
Keep not share information that he learns from us, possibly.
Forbidden from sharing information that he may ascertain regarding anything or
myself and my companions.
regarding Fearne and who are said companions. Names for those, or just want to say companions?
Companions. We have an array of companions.
Right. Companions.
Glances up again.
Anything more?
I think that is it.
Finishes writing a couple things down, and kind of at the bottom you see him like kind of wish the quill with a little flourish as for his signature before he kind of turns it, pushes the quill ink pot towards you and the papers towards you, and just sort of gestures.
If all it looked fine on there, you can read it. Go ahead and sign at the bottom. Pay 70 gold.
Okay, she's gonna look it over a little bit and then sign it.
It looks basically like kind of everything you said. And kind of like you sign it, kind of takes away.
It's 70 gold for the first month for our insurance.
She will dig out of her coin purse and get that 70 and put it on the table.
Takes the 70 gold, counts it out quickly before he kind of stacks up neatly and piles of 10 before kind of pushing it to the side.
Right. And as soon as Benji signs it, this will be in effect. If he does not sign it within a week, return here, collect the gold. We'll give him a copy to give to you. Make sure he gives you the copy.
So, do I give him the gold directly or
No,
come
he
here?
will come here to collect the gold.
Okay.
Once he signs it, we will set it aside for him. You've already paid for the first month. He gestures to like the gold that you just paid. He'll come here. It'll be 70 gold a month for you. It's your responsibility whether to pay him or to come here and give us the gold to give to him. Realize that if you give him the gold directly, you are liable to pay him if he comes here and says that you didn't pay him.
I will keep that in mind.
Sort of nods.
If you know him and know where he's at, I'd recommend telling him to come here and sign the contract as soon as possible, or at his discretion. As I said, after a week, if he has not signed it and presented you with a signed copy, come back here, collect your gold. Anything more?
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
She's gonna like awkwardly stand up and just kind of.
Takes papers and kind of taps them, straighten them out a bit, and kind of sets them to the side. Taking the ink pot and quill and kind of looking at some of the other papers and setting one in front of him, and glancing up to you guys again.
She's gonna, hurry out.
You guys head out and head back in the tavern. You know, the tavern, Benji and Rowan. Rowan, I don't know if you're saying anything or doing anything. Benji will not force you into a conversation.
Just kind of like awkwardly, just not talking, probably.
Oh, it's funny. We left Rowan with Benji.
He won't force you into a conversation, so you guys eventually come back.
Yeah, she'll slide back into the booth.
Marie's gonna hop up beside her and then climb up on top of the table again.
Well, he said that, you can go down there to your discretion.
Well, unless there's any immediacy to it, then I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day here and sign it likely tomorrow morning, if that is alright with you.
Yeah, he said you have a week.
That does mean as well, it's to notify you I am not in your employ until I sign it.
Yes.
I am going to enjoy the time I have here and the room that I rented.
You can, pick up your pay here.
Will you be sending it here? I wasn't aware if we were going to be traveling out of Bargetide for more than a month.
I mean, if we're here, you can come here.
Very well.
Contracts are weird. I do not want to mess it up.
I mean, it's all your choice. You can pay me and you could bring it here if you, you can pay me directly. I'm not going to lie to him and say that I was not paid. It is your choice.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, you can roll an insight if you want.
I was getting ready to say inside check, but Rowan's got it.
I wouldn't say that.
Both roll insight, but yes. With you. No. It seems like he's being genuine about it. He doesn't have any intention of just saying, oh no, they didn't pay me, and coming to try to, basically say that essentially say, he's not going to come here and lie about it and say that they didn't pay me. He seems genuine about that.
Alright, Rowan will just kind of nod, like respectable nod. He's not gonna say anything, but just like, alright, that's alright.
Well, are you busy, or will you be joining me for the rest of the day?
No, we got things to do.
Shame. Well, I will be here the rest of the day, likely tonight. Maybe if you can find me. But you're more than welcome to join me. I'd be happy to have company. But I do not want to keep you from whatever thing you are doing.
Thank you.
Apparently, we have another person to talk to.
If I do not see you tomorrow, where should I find you?
I might be staying at the Bronze Rock.
I know the tavern. I've heard of the tavern at least. To make talk of it. I know what it is. I could find it.
People there are very nice.
They can be, so. I know what it is. I will go and find it. If I do not see you tomorrow.
Alright,
So if we don't see you tomorrow, do we come here to find you?
You can, that would be probably the best place to look. Come here and see if I have signed a contract with them, and if I haven't, then, well, if I have, then hopefully they will know where I am, or I am in trouble. But, like I said, I will just try to find you in the morning when I wake up.
Alright, we will do that.
are we all going?
So, Fearne's looking at Marie for that one.
Marie's just like, okay.
Right, following Marie.
Marie led the party back to the Spire's grotto for the meeting he had asked her for.
But walking here, a bit more kind of dimly lit. You can still see just fine, but more kind of orangish hues from the torches and candles. And lanterns in here. In a kind of smaller room, sitting at the far side, on like rounded in the corner booth, or a corner booth. Kind of nice, very nice red, sort of probably comfy, look very comfy, like cushions. Sitting there is a large, Luxodon man. His tusks adorned with variety of kind of like gold and jewelry and whatnot. Wearing a nice vest, more of a kind of darker blue, sort of decorated with even darker blue kind of filigree around it for decoration. Underneath, wearing a longer sleeved shirt with the wrists kind of rolled up. As you guys kind of walk in, you see like the probably decent for Luxon. You don't really know how to exactly like wrinkles, how they work on them, but a fair amount of wrinkles. So you imagine maybe potentially a bit older, not like elderly, but maybe like middle-aged-ish, or a little bit younger. Kind of like looks at you all as you kind of walk in and see standing to the left, standing near the booth. It's very well dressed, kind of like tuxedo, suit and tie, arms behind his back, and white hair sort of slicked back as well. Elven man, who's just standing there. As you guys kind of walk in, the Luxon sort of like looks at him and just makes a gesture, and he nods and walks through the door immediately to his left and left of the table. As you guys make your way towards the table, he just sort of gestures to the chairs for you as normal.
Marie's gonna hop up in her usual spot.
I see you brought him here a little bit sooner than I thought you would.
Yeah, I brought my companions. She's gonna gesture at Fearne, and she's gonna be like, this is Fearne, and she's gonna then gesture at Rowan and be like, and Rowan.
Brought him here a bit sooner than I thought you might. Appreciate it.
Didn't want to keep you waiting.
He's sort of, you see like a slight kind of like smirk. I'm a patient man. But, Fearne, Rowan, I'm among the understanding that you assisted Marie over on the Whispering Cove.
I suppose you could say that.
Based on what she has told me, you were, perhaps vital may not be the right term, but useful in doing what she was asked to do there. Which, for clarification for you all, as I'm not sure if she has told you, was to investigate the diamonds and their nature and things of that sort.
Marie is looking at them.
Was she wrong in that you did not assist her in this?
Rowan gives a look to Marie like he wants to say something, and then thinks better of it. Yeah, we did.
Then it is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, currently.
He kind of reaches forward and extends his hand.
Rowan will shake it.
He shakes it. Kind of like turns it towards Fearne.
She's just gonna look at it and then put her hand out to shake.
It takes yours a little bit more gently and sort of like kind of holds it a little bit, like sort of like how somebody would like more nobility, kind of slightly. It sort of slightly bows as he does.
Oh god.
Not actually like a full shake, like more like a slight kind of bow, like as acknowledgement. He kind of retreats his hand back and sets it in front of him.
I need to express my gratitude to you for that. As you inadvertently, without your knowledge, were assisting me as well and working for me.
Do we have a name to call you? Now that you know ours?
I apologize, I was under the conception that Maria had likely told you. You can call me the Spire.
The Spire.
Spire.
You can roll a history check, Fearne. And Rowan, you can roll a history check if you would like.
Whoa. 16.
12.
Rowan, you've kind of heard the name along the lines of like criminal organizations. Fearne, you have heard the name before in Adela of a criminal organization in Adela. It was really just kind of known. It was weird. Like criminal organization might not be the best word, and like organization might be the best word because they didn't really have a name. They were just kind of. It was always known as like the Spire. It was like more like a person. There that was never really. Nobody knew who they were. Nobody that you knew ever talked to them. City guards, like authorities and things like that. They were not a fan of him. Things he did were illegal. He wasn't. Didn't obey the law. But they were never. There's nothing ever they could really do about it. It was very much like a sort of. They knew about it, but it's sort of like if we find out you're doing anything, we're gonna probably arrest you on the spot for it. But we don't know how to go about tracking him down or anything. Like they do a good job of covering their tracks and things of that nature.
Whoa.
Or they pay a lot of people off. Who knows?
Damn.
But yeah, that was over in Adela.
He will give like a slight look of like, oh.
As well, Fearne, what are you wearing currently?
She's wearing that torn up tunic still because they haven't gone shopping.
The which tunic?
That tunic that she's been wearing that got a hole in the back now.
Okay.
They haven't been able to change. Her raven feather necklace, the change bringer medallion on her hip. Let's see what else was showing.
Anything that would show like your house or anything of that nature, or where you came from.
She probably has the ring on her necklace. So she's not gonna put that on her hand, but it's on her necklace.
Okay. He kind of looks to you a little bit as he kind of pulls his hand away and just sort of.
I do apologize, as I should have been a bit more gracious with my introduction, shouldn't I, Miss Lucien Delon?
Kind of just bows his head a little bit more.
She's gonna look a little like, oh.
Rowan is kind of squinting.
Unless, of course, that is not yours.
She just looks at Rowan for a second and then looks back and be like, no, that's my name.
Sorry, so I guess when he says not yours, he was gesturing more towards the symbol, your house.
She kind of like puts her hand on it and it's just like, no, it's fine.
Nods. Then I do apologize for not greeting you more graciously and with perhaps a bit more luxury here. Though I can't make amends now, are any of you hungry?
I could eat.
Yes, I could definitely eat.
Looking out to you, Rowan.
I myself find myself famished a bit, so we three will be eating. If you wish to partake, you are more than welcome.
I suppose.
Very well.
You see him kind of sort of knock on the sort of like wooden part of the bench, and you see the elf kind of, or not the elf. You see a goblin kind of walk in and sort of saunter in and kind of like goblin as well, decently dressed, not like a suit and tie, but like decently well dressed. It was kind of a vest, nothing under it, no sleeves or anything. Kind of like walks in and glances to you guys and then to the Spire, and then the Spire kind of like looks at him and
I believe I'm favoring a tenacious steak currently.
and kind of like glances to the rest of you all.
Any kind of delights you have in mind that you are more particular towards?
Anything from Adela?
You can attempt to make something. I do believe
Something close?
Snab and his brethren can attempt something of the nature.
Dumplings are pretty easy.
Dumplings we can do.
I wouldn't mind that as well.
Rowan's mouth is just kind of open a little bit. I don't normally dine at like nice. Kind of looks around. Establishments.
By no means am I saying this is a nice establishment. I do just pay good money for good chefs. I cannot guarantee that we are going to have what you want, but if you give him an idea, he can make something that I'm sure that you will enjoy.
Rowan will think a little bit.
Alternatively, I can make a suggestion for you. I can have it be a surprise if you wish. I do know some people prefer that sometimes.
Sure, yeah, that sounds fine. Great.
Are you averse to meats?
No.
Right. No dietary restrictions?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Very well.
Kind of like leans in.
I believe a Mindoro for him. I think he would enjoy that.
Stab just kind of like smiles wide, just sort of nods. Yes, I think so. He kind of quickly goes runs off. Kind of looks back to you all.
So, being as you all did, though unintentionally, work for me, I would like to not only extend my gratitude, but compensate you for the trials and, from what I understood from Marie, the tribulations and trials that you experienced on the island.
Fearne's is looking between Marie and Rowan like,
Rowan sips on his water skin.
Marie is wringing her skirts nervously.
thank you?
Of course. Though I was hoping that you might give me an estimated number of what you feel would be adequate compensation.
Fearne's having like a blue screen moment because she's just like, what?
Rowan looks at Marie, because he's like, what the fuck is on his face?
Well, seeing it was unknowing, and you did seem to have your own business there as well, that just happened to coincide. Perhaps 500 gold each.
Fearne's just gonna look very surprised.
Rowan kind of chokes a little bit on the sip he was on. fucking more than enough, I fucking say.
Perhaps you would say so. I can always reduce it, but I do like to show my appreciation and make sure that I am not indebted to anyone.
Fearne's just staring at Marie like, what the fuck?
Marie's just like looking at her, just being like, no, like nodding her head and gesturing.
I will gladly accept your thank you. She'll look at Rowan and Marie like, is that the proper response?
Now, along with that, I would like to know more about you two. I find it my responsibility to know who is working for me, and to, from time to time, check up on them.
Fearne just looking very quickly to Rowan and Marie.
Understand who I'm employing.
Marie's Talos doing that really nervous cat lash thing behind her.
But do you want to know our hobbies?
If you wish to share them with me, I will listen.
Uh,
But more about yourself. I am quite curious why you are here, Miss Lucinda.
I mean,
What finds you in Bargetide?
I
As well, please continue. I did not mean to interrupt.
no, it's okay. I'm just processing.
Kind of like glances around a little bit. If it would make you feel better, nobody other than me is listening. You are safe here, as of now. I have no reason to conceive any ill will towards any of you. But please, make yourselves at home, feel comfortable.
So back to the hobbies thing. Doesn't that make a person? Some of the hobbies that they enjoy?
It can make a person, yes.
Well, sir, I will gladly share this. She's gonna get out her art book and slide it over.
Oh my god.
Kind of like his hands on the table, kind of like just lifts up his hand slightly and just taps like his hand's not like too like a ton bigger than yours, but
Yeah.
your guys's. But his fingers are definitely like a lot larger and thicker. As well as he only has being Lurks on, he only does have 4 fingers.
Oh.
So like thumb and 3 fingers. But he kind of like lifts the finger and just taps it onto the art notebook as to stop it as it kind of comes over and just like slides it over to himself and flips open the pages and begins kind of flipping through them.
I can talk about art all day.
I am sure you can. Assumingly being raised and having a proper education. And as I can tell, practice and a teacher potentially in this particular subject.
I spent a lot of my free time just doing that. And chess. Lots and lots of chess.
Nods a little bit.
Interesting. I do know a few people that as well are interested in chess, though what skill level they are compared to yours, I could not say.
I will not complain if anybody wants to play with me.
She's good enough that she could teach me a little.
He's kind of like not really looking up as he said that, and just sort of looked at the book, but then does kind of glance up.
Unfortunately, they are not currently here. One of them, well, the immediate one I'm thinking of is over in Taldera.
Well, if they're ever here, and we're here, you can let them know. She's just gonna give him a nervous smile.
Nods a little bit, and sort of smiles as well. And like flips through the book. We're kind of eventually closing it and sort of sliding it back towards you.
Yeah, she'll take it back and put it back in her bag.
Now, if I could so inquire about you.
He looks at you, Rowan.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really that interesting. I mean, I grew up here.
I believe that is a matter of personal opinion,
I
and I'm one of the belief that you don't really decide how interesting you may or may not be.
I suppose. I have a clinic, and I'm a doctor.
Doctor. Interesting.
Yeah.
In Bargetide, you said.
Uh-huh.
How did you come about that profession?
You know, kind of got interested in it at a younger age. I'm not particularly good with a sword.
I'm glad to see that even the more intricate sciences can find their roots here in Bargetide.
Yeah. And that's it. I don't do art or anything. I just kind of.
No hobbies of your own other than practicing medicine?
No, not particularly.
Very well. I do apologize, I did not get your full name. If you are willing to share it with me.
Rowan O'Flynn.
I'm gonna pause for another thing. You wouldn't happen to be related to that harpooner, Emon O'Flynn?
Yeah. That's my father.
Oh. Interesting. Well, Red seemed to have fallen very far from the tree, but I'm sure he's still proud.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. Rowan is looks a little uncomfortable.
Or no, or not, perhaps? I don't mean to make insinuations and accusations about uncomfortable subjects. And if you do wish to stop, please, just ask me.
Okay.
Kind of looks to the other, both Marie and Fearne as well. That goes for each of you. If you are uncomfortable, that is not by any means my intention. I'm merely just inquiring and getting to know the people that I am dining with for lunch.
I mean, I don't mind talking about hobbies.
Would we be able to ask more about you?
Potentially, though I am a bit, for perhaps not obvious reasons, but I would like to believe obvious reasons, most secretive about some of that.
Fearne's gonna lean on the table a little bit and be like, well, since I told you one of my hobbies, what are one of your hobbies?
Kind of like looks over to you and just sort of smiles a little bit. One of my hobbies. I'm actually particularly a fan of brewing. Many of the meads you'll find out there are ones of my creation.
He's gonna look at Rowan.
Kind of gestures to the door.
They're really good.
You've had some of them.
I mean, had a little sip.
Nods. I appreciate it. I would by no means say that I am the best, but
So, do you just work in Bargetide? Or is this like a...
I mean,
well,
I've heard about him in Adela. Sort of. Not him, but the spire.
you did hear about me. That is me.
They definitely don't know it's specifically a person.
I'm sure they know it might be a person, perchance, but they don't know who or where to find me, and I tend to keep them that way for the time being.
So what well, knowing Marie and what she does for a living, what kind of commerce are you a part of? I mean, you don't have to answer, obviously.
I'm more than willing to answer. I'm a part of many different types of commerce. Obviously, some not so legal, as my establishment here is a testament to. Many of which are legal, though authorities or officials are not a fan of them.
Interesting.
Was there any specifically you were inquiring about?
I was just interested. What got you started? Like, what made you interested in doing things like this?
Well, that is quite a lengthy story, and I'm not sure I could get through with just lunch.
Understandable.
But to make a short one of it, I didn't like the people that were in power, and I didn't like the authorities.
I mean, interested, yeah?
I wouldn't know much about that, but fair.
And that is not to say that I disliked all of them, Mr. Ohm. Your father was a decent man. and I had no ill will towards him. He just happened to be in a position of power that was very much against mine.
Should be like, well, I only know my father from when he acts like at home, so.
Well, he very much acted like that, as far as I could tell, and on the few times I encountered him. He acted like that, well, I assumed to be like that everywhere. Assuming he acted like a decent man at home.
I mean, he's a good dad. I love him a lot. Very fair. I don't think I've ever seen him angry.
Nods a little bit. He always struck me as the kind of guy when you did make angry, you wouldn't really know until he, well, wanted you to.
Mom was more the one that was a little bit more open about letting you know that she was mad, but I think that's a mom thing?
Perhaps. I do know that they justify sometimes as concern rather than anger.
I mean, when you're raising 3 daughters, that's a little bit of a hassle.
I imagine so. Though, this talk of your family does bring up an interesting subject that I believe you did avoid a bit. I am curious as to what finds you here in Bargetide, if you are willing to share that.
Well, it's not anything to do with my family.
Though, well, please do continue.
I think it's pretty complicated.
I imagine so. Which, that brings up my second question. Because I did believe it was complicated, given on your wrist, your waist, the symbol of the Changebringer.
That is also complicated, that I am figuring out. Well, she told me that my ways are more the Changebringer's interests, that I coincide with her more.
Your mother?
Oh, no, the Raven Queen.
You seem kind of like raise a brow. Mm-hmm.
You know, meditating, you can kind of talk to the gods.
You seem to just kind of like readjust a little bit. Kind of having like this sort of a little bit like he knows like there's not like a the gods don't exist, but there is sort of a little bit of like when people say like they've talked to the gods, there's very much this sort of air of like, yeah, okay, sure, that's you seem a little crazy sometimes when you do that. And you see like he's not being fully disrespectful, but there is like that. Like Rowan, definitely you can tell kind of you can tell he has that sort of
okay.
Like yeah, you're a little okay, so you might be a little bit like not all there, but it sort of is right.
I've not been following the Changebringer very long, so it's...
Is it something your father's aware of, I suppose?
He does not.
Is that why you find yourself in Bargetide?
No, the Changebringer thing's very recent. Very, very recent. I mean, I still follow the Raven Queen. She means a lot.
So you've not been here for a very long time, then?
I wouldn't say so, but I've been away from home for a while.
Well, if you do not wish to talk any more about that, I will not press you further. Though I do find myself curious, and will let you know that should leads about it come to my attention, I may or may not inquire on them.
Leads?
Information that potentially would lead to that.
Oh.
I cannot say or guarantee that any will come through, but...
Yeah, she'll look at Marie and Rowan for a second like, what?
I feel it only right that if something comes by that seems related to you, my curiosity might get the better of me and that I might inquire about it.
Oh, okay.
Marie's just like sitting there and fiddling with her skirt still. She like does not like how awkward this is.
Fearne's like staring at Rowan and Marie like, what do I do? What do I say?
Rowan's just kind of like, fuck if I know. I think he's just along for the ride. He's just kind of shrugging.
She looks at you guys.
Do you mind if I ask something of you?
You're free to ask whatever you wish. Whether I'm answering or not will be completely different answer.
Oh, well, it's kind of a request. I would like to find a way to get Melanie back to Adela, and I'd be more than happy to take on a job in return.
Well, I believe you are currently already under my employment.
I know.
So, taking a job is by no means extra work.
Mm-hmm.
Though, as I told you when you first hired, I do intend to take care of the people that have proven useful and loyal to me. And while I don't fully find you entirely loyal yet, given your past,
Mm-hmm.
taking your cousin back to Adela is no detriment to me. So yes, I can do so. You need only tell me where.
They're kind of close to Treston Run. I could send word ahead of time so that they'll have people there to meet her.
Just sort of nods. We can get her to Treston Run if they have somebody there to meet her. Alternatively, we can drop people off directly there if you wish.
I'm not so certain my family would appreciate that. We're not exactly supposed to disclose our main barrow.
He sort of smiles, nods a bit. That's exactly why I was offering it, hoping that you might slip up by chance.
My mother taught me a little bit better than that.
Apparently so. Well, I can take her to Treston Run, and we can keep people with her until the family comes to pick her up.
I appreciate it so much.
And I can guarantee and assure you that they will not follow your family or cousin back to their burrow, or wherever you find yourself as a base of operations.
I'd appreciate that as well.
When would you like to send her back?
As soon as possible. She's very homesick, but I wouldn't want you to do it whenever it's whenever it's out of the way. So whenever you have people going to Adela next, maybe?
I intend to travel to Adela in a couple of days or so. You can join me then.
Oh really? That would be wonderful. I'll let her know. Thank you.
Of course.
Maria looks a lot more at ease now.
You seem kind of like as this kind of looks to you guys. Eventually the door kind of opens again, and then multiple goblins come in. Actually, this time multiple goblins and one hobgoblin come in with plates, so they kind of go around and sit in front of you all. In front of you are there not exactly dumplings, but they're sort of like dumpling-like-ish. Dumpling-ish. But they said like a steak in front of him, and then in front of you, Rowan. They said put a very both an omelet and a bird, some sort of like not chicken, but like some bird. It's not the full bird, but it is like some type of bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. What's that?
It was whatever he said.
To reference for you, Rowan, the omelet is the main course of that meal. The bird is the meat and bird is just an after bonus, suppose.
Maria's eyeing that curiously.
Fearne's just gonna eat.
He kind of like as he gestures towards you guys. For you, the Waviri, I perhaps should have asked if you were keen on spices and things of that nature before I had them just go make something. But
I mean,
it is generally a bit more of a spiced meal.
Fearne, when he's saying that, she already has one in her mouth, and she's just like,
It is actually, it kind of starts off with a much more like very kind of savory sort of taste. There is meat inside of there, mixed with some vegetables, and very kind of savory, very savory and delicious taste to it.
that does kind of quickly kick in. Like it takes a moment, but it kicks in. Like there's a very fiery, spicy kick to it. And it's not unpleasant, but definitely is there.
Okay, so if he looked at her and she had that in her mouth, you could just see her like, yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, a tear start welling up in her eye.
The second he says spicy, Marie gets really excited and like starts to dig in.
Yeah, they're very spicy.
Not what she was expecting.
Not pleasantly so, but they are. And he kind of like, as he sees you, Fearne, he kind of like glances back to the one of the goblins, the drop, and just finishes a couple glasses of milk for them as well.
This is so good.
As you guys do also have now, like, they set down like glasses of water in front of you guys. Rowan, taking a bite of yours, is delicious. It has a very creamy, almost nutty kind of flavor to it. The omelet, the egg, and the bird is kind of spiced just to be almost just sort of spiced in the semblance of the omelet, sort of to go in unison with it if you add it.
Shit, yeah. Rowan will enjoy that meal. A+.
Marie has gone from being super nervous to her tail's like all caned up in the air and she's purring. She really loves spicy food.
He wasn't expecting spicy, so she's like, oh, I'm just gonna put this in my mouth, and then I'm not prepared.
Yeah, which is why he said he was like I should have probably said something. But yeah, he kind of looks in after it takes a moment for milk is kind of brought at the table and slid in front of you.
Yeah, she'll like give a nod and be like, I should have asked.
I should have inquired about it as well. My apologies, Mr. Long.
It's good. I love dumplings.
Could I particularly ask, where is this from? He'll point at his plate.
He kind of nods a little bit and kind of glances to the doors as it's closed. To be honest, I cannot tell you particularly where the Mandoro peacock is originally from. Though, I do just know that for a fact it is a very rare bird. And the eggs it lays are even rare. From my understanding, it only lays one fertilized egg a year.
Oh.
And that one is always checked and kept
Oh, wow.
to make sure the continuation of the species is, well, continued.
Wow. Alright.
And as such, the eggs are not generally, even the unfertilized ones are not generally easy to come by. Since checking if they are fertilized or not is a bit of a process, and by the end of it, most of them are not good to eat, let's say.
Well, I'll enjoy this. Thanks.
Sort of nods a bit. Most seem kind of take a bite from his, like, begin cutting and taking bites from his steak as well. Very small, like actually decent, like small bites. Like not, he's not taking like the whole thing. Even though he, like, based on like the size of his mouth, he could easily probably fit that whole steak like in there in one bite. But just simple bites. Very polite and well mannered.
This is Fearne, is what Fearne's used to.
Marie's manners aren't the worst, but it's also hard to cut things in smaller bites, so she's got a tiny cat mouth.
Did you guys eat? And, he enjoys his meal as well. Not sure if anybody had anything more that they were saying or.
Oh, Fearne's not going to talk that much, other than what she's already talked about.
Marie's excited for some goddamn good food.
Rowan's good.
Eventually, kind of actually, he doesn't actually finish his full plate. He only gets like basically 3/4 of it, the steak finished, but he kind of sets it up forward a little bit. Just kind of wait some watches as you guys eat.
Delicious. I just think of the Gordon Ramsay, some good fucking food.
Totally some good fucking food. Eventually, he does pick up the. I assume you, based on the quietness, all of you are enjoying the food.
Fearne looks like she's in heaven.
It is absolutely wonderful. I have not tasted anything with spices since I came here.
Funnily enough, you can actually find a fair amount of spices in Bargetide. Just have to know where to look.
I just keep going to really shitty taverns.
Likely won't find them in the taverns.
We can take you to that sandwich shop. There's a sandwich shop that, I think it was Alton that got a spicy sandwich.
Her tail's all happy flicky.
Alternatively, as none of these spices here are from Bargetide, if there's a particular spice you're looking for, I can see about getting some of it.
Her eyes are sparkly.
I am not a cooker.
I mean, I can cook, kind of. I haven't really tried since.
She kind of gestures at herself. But
So I know we were talking a lot about payment and, working and such.
Well, if you intend to keep working for me, then yes, I do have things I could have you attend.
I guess that's my question, is like, what... I mean, I'm assuming Marie, you're still working for him?
Yeah.
By no means are you all compelled to work for me as well, though.
I guess that was my question, so I guess that answered that. I don't really have anything else.
Unless, of course, you would desire to. No contract. I do offer simple jobs and things of the nature as well.
Marie looks at Rowan for like a long second before looking back at him.
And she's like, he has something that I need to help him do, so I might, if this is acceptable to you, see if there's work you want done in the area once we figure out where he's going.
Just sort of nods and kind of like glances to Rowan. You're not aware of the area that you'll be working in?
No. I'm trying to figure that out. We kind of just got back from a trip.
Well, might I inquire about what you are intending to do?
I'm looking for someone.
Sort of nods a little bit. Still looking at you. Someone in particular?
Yeah, someone in particular.
Might I ascertain their name, or is that something more private that you would not like to share?
I mean, I guess it can't hurt, because supposedly he's been dead for fucking ever. Captain Meldfin.
As far as I understand Bargetide customs, you should be west right now, right? Somewhere probably in the bottom of the ocean.
Yep. That's about where. But I have to find information about that, so I don't particularly know where I'm going.
And perhaps I offer you a job that you do for me. In return, I will look for information regarding this Meldfin for you.
Rowan raises a brow. He's actively looks interested.
It's an open deal. You don't need to accept if you don't want to, and you may change your mind.
I am interested. I don't know anything about you though. Or do you even have contacts that would know anything about this?
See me kind of smile a little bit. Well, I did hope to avoid having to make an example about my contacts, but yes, I do.
What kind of job are you talking?
Just a simple one. So then, you are going to be in Bargetide, correct?
Yeah.
There's a particular man here in Bargetide. No, it was by the name of Bill's Fizzlenozzle. He has, I believe, what could be stand-in for a library here in Bargetide. I don't believe many go to it, and I don't know if it's well known about. Known as it's a private residence, I believe has ascertained the title of the Hall of Wonders. Though, not everything he keeps in there is his, per se. In fact, one thing specifically is rightfully should belong to me. I would like it back. I don't necessarily care under how or why.
So, what you're saying is if I go steal this back for ya, that you'll see if you can get any information for me on this dead captain.
I will keep my eyes and ears open for information about this Meldfin. And my eyes and ears are in many places and very observant.
What exactly are you asking to get back?
The small should be a. Well, you know what a gyroscope is, correct?
Yeah.
There's a small metal ball like thing that's looks very much like a gyroscope. In the center of it there is a sapphire. It would be able to fit easily about the size of my hand. That would be what you're looking for when you go there. Word is that he has a vault within his estate, residence, whatever you wish to call it, and it's kept there. Nobody can prove or disprove that that vault exists, or where it's at, but stands a reason that if you can't find this device there, within his, kind of like those air quotes, halls of wonder, it would be within that vault.
Could I particularly ask, what exactly does this gyroscope do?
Not in the current situation, no. I would like to keep that private.
Rowan kind of purses his lips a little bit.
As I said, I don't care on the how or why or how you do this. If you want to buy it from him, you're welcome to buy it from him. I will not compensate you for that, though.
Do you want to keep it a secret that it's you wanting it back?
I don't necessarily know if it matters. I don't necessarily know if invoking my name will have any strength to it. I would prefer you keep my name out of it as much as possible. Depending on your actions afterwards can tend to stain my reputation.
Well, I will look into it, but I expect you to at least try and find some information.
As I said, I will keep my eyes and ears open. They are in many places and they are very observant. I'm sure we'd find out what you're looking for in no time.
Also, if it was, hopefully you can get more information than just he's dead in the sea west of here.
Well, considering you already know that, it's not new information for you, is it? Don't worry. People I employ are good at what they do. My information that I give is always good. The information I receive, I make sure that it is double checked, and I make sure that it is good. Isn't that right, Mr. Lone?
I can say yes of the things that I've heard.
Alright.
Just kind of like staring at Fearne and just sort of smirk as she says that.
Alright, fine. You got yourself a deal. I'll get back this gyroscope thing from Mr. Nozzle Nose.
He kind of looks away from Fearne and back to you, Rowan. Your nods. Fizzle nozzle. Yes. I don't have a time limit on it. I will have my people begin to keep their eyes and ears open immediately, though that information reaching your ears is dependent on you doing this.
Understandable. Rowan will just kind of look towards Marie and Fearne.
I mean, Marie's watching both of them, like, Spire and Rowan, like, with interest. She looks like she's really down for whatever's going on.
Additionally, is there anything you're wanting me to do, in return for Melanie?
Let's say you assist Rowan in this. Any other things of interest that you might find in Mr. Fizzlenuzzle's estate or vault, if you find that. If you find any that you find I might be interested in and bring back to me, we'll consider payment for Melanie.
I can do that, for sure.
So now it's kind of like glances over to Fearne. It's kind of, again, like a kind of smirk again. Like, not really smirking, a little bit of a smile, like.
And anything that you would like to request of me, Mr. Long?
You know, I'll get back to you on that. I am working on myself, and I don't know what I can say or not.
I believe it is your choice what to say or not. Things said in this room stay in this room for the most part.
Again, glances, like looks away from Fearne again, back to the two. Maybe like just looking between all three of you now.
I don't know what other business you have here. I'll look at Marie.
This is mainly it, to be honest. Though I'd like to talk to Melanie before we leave proper, just to let her know.
He gestures to like the door that you've gone down for to go talk to her.
You're okay with us leaving now?
I am. You are by no means forced to stay here.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Of course.
She's gonna kind of do a little curtsy at him before she hops off the chair.
Though I would say I would appreciate it if only you went back there to talk to your cousin.
Right.
Well, I don't have plans for the rest of the day. I just plan on kind of refocusing after getting back. So I'm probably gonna head back to my clinic for the night.
Should we all just meet again in the morning?
That sounds like a plan.
With Benji going to meet Fearne at... What did you say your inn was?
The Bronze Rock.
The Bronze Rock. Okay, should we meet there in the morning?
We can get breakfast there.
Do they serve cats?
We'll figure that out when we get there.
That sounds like a plan.
If not, I will smuggle you some food outside and we can sit outside and eat.
A picnic, a treasure. Appreciate it. She's like already like lingering by the door. I'll see you later then. Bye.
Rowan will just kind of
Bye.
nod and leave.
Spire kind of nods to you guys as you leave again.
We'll get up too.
See him like as he looks to you again, Fearne nods. She just her smile again
Makes her nervous.
before you leave as well.
She's gonna like be right behind Rowan, like uncomfortably close, right behind Rowan.
As you guys head out and make your way to wherever you were going, we'll end the session there.
Yay.
Yeah.